Cheers, guys. Brand new episode, and today's guest is Peter Kypri. Don't know if I'm pronouncing his surname correctly. He's better known as the Cypriot Smurf, stand-up comic. And today's episode is definitely rated R. Don't let your kids listen to it, but do enjoy. We talk about his sort of come up in stand-up, where he sort of gets all his bullshit, and we talk about getting offended and all of that other bullshit. As normal, if this is your first time here and you enjoy the podcast, please click follow and like and share and whatnot, spam buttons. And it's basically it. Enjoy.
Welcome to the Kakpraat Chronicles.
Can I just say one thing first? Cheers.
Yeah.
It was very nice. Cheers, brother.
Cheers, mate. Nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
Yeah, we'll have to set something up someday.
When are you going back to SA? Do you know SA? I only realised it was South Africa because when I went to Zinon come back over. I grew up with Zinon. We went to school together when we were kids. He came back, started hanging around again, and he was like, "Are you going to go to SA?" I was like, "No, I'm going to South Africa." I thought like SA was this other place. I didn't know everything was abbreviated in that SA, PE. Yeah, I think it's just SA and PE, isn't it? You don't abbreviate anything else, do you?
Oh, well, that Johannesburg is also Joburg.
Joburg. Cape Town is just Cape Town, isn't it? Cape.
Yeah.
You can't call it CT.
It's Cape Town.
Your accent is very strong.
Yeah, well, I don't have the... remember, I grew up in central Karoo, central South Africa. So it's like mainly Afrikaans.
Yeah.
So where the Eastern Cape, where like Josh and all of them are, is predominantly English. So they've got the more sort of... They're not very posh, but they've got the more posh South African accent when they are outside of South Africa. If you hear them in Addo, they sound like very interesting people.
I remember when Zinon left. Let me try and do this. I remember when Zinon left. I didn't see him for ages. Then I was just like checking on Facebook, and I was like, "Oh, there's Zinon in South Africa with no top on." Then the next year went past. "Oh, there's Zinon just in pants." And then, there's Zinon wearing no shoes. And then he's like proper like Afrikaans and all of that. But you a lot. I thought like Greeks rolled their R's, but like South Africans rolled the R's, like Afrikaans. No, it's like that.
Afrikaans.
Afrikaans. I tried to like learn with 22.
It's in Afrikaans. In Afrikaans you speak with a R. Everything's got an R. So I just translate that into English. I get shit about it a lot, yeah. Because obviously it's all British people, and then East Bloc, like we've got Romanians and Polish and Lithuanians on the farm, yeah. So just as much as I struggle to understand their accents, they struggle to understand me.
But the Yorkshire accent's like next level, no?
Dude, I cannot. That's the accent that I struggle with most. We've got one guy on the farm here that's born and bred fucking Yorkshireman.
Try it. Give it to me.
Oh no, I can't. I'm terrible with accents.
Wait, for the podcast, let's try it. Let's do this.
I can do. I know that it's a very monotone. They don't get very excited. It's very monotone, and then it's drawn out. You don't say no. You say nah. And they go like the vowels are very closed. So it's like it's not a gun dog. It's a gun dog.
What is a gun dog?
It's like a dog that you hunt with. You call it a gun dog.
Okay.
But they call it a gun because they use as gun dog.
Don't
And
you
then
think it's weird?
the A's are like very open, where I'm going away. I'm going away.
Don't you think we all speak English, but we all got these weird different accents, and everyone thinks everyone else has. I was speaking with this Irish girl, and I was like, "I love your Irish accent." She goes, "No, what did I say to her?" I was like, "I love the way that your Irish accent." She's like, "It is an accent, it's the way I speak. You know, it's not like I'm putting it on, but it's I love the Irish accent, by the way, sexy."
It is. It's a. I think it's a peculiar thing, yeah, in the UK especially, because people don't travel. Everyone stays where they are born, so you get this localized accent, like the Yorkshire accent, that is so fucking heavy. Because most of these people are born in the village, and then also they die in this village, and they never go further than like a fucking 50 kilometers away. So they all just, but I must say the younger people sort of don't have that thick of an accent. It's the older folks that have that thick fucking accent. But I mean, as you know, in England, the further north you go, the thicker the accent gets.
Yeah.
And then we've got this little Yorkshire accent here in the west that's just fucking crazy.
Whenever you talk, I'm
East,
listening to everything. Like I'm listening, I'm just trying to pick up your accent, get ready for essay, because like even the way you said travel, I say travel.
Travel.
Say it.
Travel.
Travel. Yeah. It's like it starts at the beginning. Like it's like
travel.
Travel. I'm so gonna get shanked in SA, bro.
No, you won't. It's not as long as you just don't. I've spoken to a few people from like on the podcast now. I've spoken to people traveling through South Africa, and they all said like, no, they were all that sort of beforehand. They were told, listen, you be careful, and you have to have a rifle, and you have to have a fucking 9mm and a knife and pepper spray. But there's places in the UK that if you go there at 12 o'clock at night, you're also gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
And it's the same in South Africa. South Africa's predominantly safe. You just don't go where it's not safe.
The one thing I would never bring is pepper spray. If I was going out, if I was going to get shanked, the last thing I want to be remembered for is, ooh, you know what I mean? Fuck that. No, just shank me. I'm done. You know what I mean? Fucking pepper spray.
When is your... quickly plug your dates. When are you going to SA?
I'm going to SA. I'll just, because I've got like a whole like itinerary, but my show is the 28th of September in Johannesburg at the Germiston Hall in Germiston, right? And so 28th of September, gonna smash it. Gonna be really, it's gonna be lekker brew. It's gonna there's gonna be a lot of oaks there, and we're gonna have a shindig. I don't know. Do you say shindig? I don't know what you say.
No.
You're gonna have. Oh no, you're gonna. We're gonna have a joel. Yeah, a joel. And it's gonna be lekker. That's it.
It's gonna be lekker. There we go.
I remember Z. He said to me once, and he goes to me, when you're in SA, if someone comes up to you and says nice shoes, it means give me your shoes. I loved it. I couldn't stop laughing, but at the same time, I'll be fucking shoeless. But
no, I doubt someone will take your shoes. Don't worry.
Yeah, because I'm gonna make sure they're fucking shit. I'm going I'm going bollock naked to SA. You ain't taking nothing. I'm gonna take the worst of the worst, and I'll just be I'm gonna go buy a 3310 and just take that. I'm not even gonna take pictures in SA.
No, man, it's not. It's not that bad. Cape Town was actually. I just saw a post somewhere this week where Cape Town was voted like the best city on earth.
Oh, thank God! I thought he was going to say the worst because I expected Joburg to be the worst, and now, bro, you're doing pints. Yeah, what is that again?
That I'm drinking.
Yeah.
Vodka Red Bull.
Oh my God! I need energy. I need a
grafting today.
I need a wee. How do you say a wee in? Did you say slash or
go for a wee or piss or whatever?
Because I had 3 pints. I just went to the pint, boom, 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 and now so like this. half of this
This is
podcast.
terrible. This is terrible planning because we're in it now. And now you want to go. Why did you not go
Wait,
before? Come on, man.
Wait, trust me. I'm gonna have another 10. That's what happens. I need to get a little thing and just attach it. But I would, but it's too small.
That's how you start. No, it's fine. Go take the words.
Sure?
It's fine. Yeah.
We'll make.
Go.
Oh, before I go though, I went to SA. No, I didn't. I went to Australia. Look at this advertising for the Northern Territory. See you in the NT.
See you in the NT. Nice.
That is fucking sick. That is so cool. Yeah, we all need to meet in SA one day. I'm going. When are you going back again? I'm gonna piss myself. But just tell me, when are you next back?
No, I'll only go to SA again in 2025.
Jesus, why?
Because I've got a wife and a kid, so for me to go to South Africa is like £7,000.
True that. Is she South African?
Yeah, she's we're here on her papers, so she's the firstborn South African in her bloodline. All her family's British. So yeah, that's how we are here. I'm piggyback riding on her visa. I'm a dependent.
That's all right. Did you enjoy? Right, I'm going to ask you loads of questions. I'm asking you the bloody question. I'll be back in a second. I'm gonna have 2 seconds. I promise.
Okay.
Right. Lekker. Let's hope that's the last one. I doubt it. What is I hear birds.
Yeah, well, the sun only sets here at like 11 o'clock at night, so the birds are singing till late.
Are you like in the sticks?
Yeah, we're out on a farm.
It's nice then, huh?
That's why I told you we might have a bit of trouble with the internet, but I see it's holding up.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
We've been having trouble with the internet for quite a while. This is why I told you I'm quite excited to get into this podcast with you, because I haven't done one in over a month because we were without internet.
Why was you out without internet?
Well, because we're in the middle of nowhere, we don't have like fiber or fucking. We barely have cell phone reception.
I could just imagine you like from the next village with an Ethernet cable in the car, and I try to connect it to your computer.
So yeah, I just decided to fucking bite the bullet and get Starlink. It is bloody expensive, but it works. I'm running. I just did a test now. I'm running on like 300 meg. So it's definitely working.
I saw a message about this Starlink. So what's the cost on that? Is it like a month
at
thing?
This point, I'm paying £90 a month. Yeah.
Malaka. That's a lot.
It is a lot, but we don't have any other option. We've got shitty little internet, but that gives you like kilobytes of internet. That gives you less than a meg. You can barely make a WhatsApp call on that. And obviously, I like doing the podcast. So
can't you get the Starlink and then like distribute a bit of your megabytes to the Horkod, to the village?
No, like I'm stingy. Like I'm 20. Stingy. Fuck that. I've got my own internet.
Here's 20. If you need help in SA, loads of people just want to help me in SA. It's so good. It's like everyone's like making me shit myself, but also being so kind.
That's a South African way, my man.
No, they are, especially Josh. Josh is like, I can't wait. If he meets me in Cape Town, we're gonna road trip towards Addo. So we'll get to PE, get picked up and go to Addo. And then he said we're gonna go do dune buggies in the sand or something, and then shoot some guns and have a braai.
Yeah, so you're gonna pick up weight, my man. I hope you know that, because you're gonna be drinking fucking brandy and having a braai fucking every day.
Every phone call, every voice note, brandy. I'm not really a brandy guy. I had a bit the other day to test it out. I had a clippies because I saw some brews and it was nice. So I'm gonna put on a bit of weight. So I'm gonna have to lose it now. But I remember when I first started talking to Z and Josh, I was just saying braai. But now, whenever I say braai, I make sure I say it correctly and say braai. Braai. Going to braai, bro. Sick. I'm excited.
Are you gonna do? Why don't you do a pop-up show there by Josh's place at the OE?
maybe, maybe I'll do a bit of stand up. Hopefully, people because it would be good even for the people that are at the backpackers, something different. So if maybe I'll do a little bit of essay entertainment.
Because he's got a stage there and everything.
Are they more people abroad backpacking through? Or are they more South Africans packing through?
Well, you've got a lot of because it's a backpackers and it's on that garden route sort of trip. You get a lot of international people there, but you've got a big base of locals that go to the pub almost every night. So there'll definitely be people. Have you spoken to Josh about it?
Not about a show there. Not a show, but we'll see. I could start it off with something like, this is a stick up. You're here now. We need it. Oh, we're going to have FaceTime. He's going to be licked. He's going to be...
I don't know if so you're going to get load shedding for the first time in your life when you go to South Africa.
Okay, I heard about all this. I'm going to sell electricity. I'm going to get some oil and petrol and start selling it.
I highly doubt that he'll pick up.
Yeah, it's Friday night. Could he be?
No, he'll be at the pub.
He'll be on the bride.
But you guys must definitely set something up. I mean, if you're going to stay there, you might as well just fucking organize a. No, oh, what's happening? Nope. You might as well just set something up and fucking do it, even if it's just like 10, 15 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be more than enough, because I'm sure there'll be some music. We could even sort out something like a little open mic thing, because there could be a backpacker that knows how to play an instrument or something. Little bit of comedy, little bit of music, something that's just a bit open and cool and mellow. Comedy, music, singing. I don't know, something like that. That'd be cool. That's what I want to do when I go. Even when I went to Australia, I've done a big ass road trip. I didn't want to go to clubs and bars and everything like that. I'm not really into all of that. I enjoy it if I go with a group of friends and we're just all, sitting at a table, eating some food, having a drink. But I want road trip. I want outback. I want bush. And when I say bush, I'm from England, I want bush. It's I want fanny. But when you guys say bush, it's the bush. I don't know why it's called bush. And we're going to the bush. That's one bush.
Oh,
there's many bushes. I'm going to the bushes.
Yeah.
I love these little...
What is that? So you flying into Cape Town and then you're traveling up to Joburg?
No, I'm being what's the word? Cheap. I'm going to Joburg, then getting €100 ticket to go to Cape Town.
Okay.
It's double the price going to Cape Town than leaving from Joburg. I don't get it. No one wants to go to Joburg.
It is, but it's funny. The international flights work funny because we did the same. We went to South Africa now in March, and we also flew to Joburg and then flew to Cape Town.
Yeah, it makes so much sense.
It depends on what flights you get. I think if you fly, because we fly from Humberside to Amsterdam and then from Amsterdam to Joburg, South Africa, Joburg, Cape Town. But I think if you get direct flights, you might be able to stop for cheaper in Cape Town.
Yeah, I don't know how it works. I've got to go to Doha and then Doha, Joburg, Cape Town. Joburg return is at €700, and to go Cape Town and leave from Johannesburg is 1,500. So I might as well just do the Joburg return, jump on a flight from Joburg straight to Cape Town. I'm going to go do Table Mountain? Is that what it's called?
Table Mountain, yeah. Table you have to do that.
Go burn some calories before fucking Josh catches me and have to drink loads of brandy, clippers and Coke brew.
But Table Mountain, you either have to do sunrise or sunset. You have to see either one of those. Don't go in the middle of the day. That's bullshit. Okay. Are you hiking up or are you taking the cable car?
No, I'm going to hike up, cable car down, or hike up, walk down. I've got to burn the calories.
But see if you can organize it so that you can either see the sun come up or go down from the top there, because it is, I promise you, it'll be the best view of your life.
If I meet a girl, sunset. If I don't meet a girl, sunrise.
There we go.
I got to meet a nice Australian girls are called Sheilas. What are Australian South African ladies called?
It's a lot of the same, I think, as the
It's
UK.
not.
Like,
It's not like you wouldn't say pussies.
no, yeah, well, it depends on who you're talking about. But because you've also got people that call them like a bird or a goose
A
or
goose.
yeah, a goose. Um, and then like in Afrikaans, you'll have like someone will call them like a dasvel.
A
Dasvel,
dust bell.
yeah, it's like it's a little rodent type animal, but it's got very
Road.
soft fur. So they used to make in the olden days. They used to make
Hat.
like bedding out of it because it's
Oh,
very soft and it's very warm. So that they call it the dasvel because a woman is a soft creature. So yeah, it depends on where you are. It's also very sort of like dependent on the area that you're in. You'll because I mean South Africa's got 11 or 12 official languages, and then in the same language you'll get different dialects from east to west and north to south. So it's all dependent
all these different
on where
words.
you are.
Someone taught me a word today. What did they teach me? I think I said. Did I say it to you? Oh no, I said it to Zinon. I'm gonna murder you.
Mur, yeah.
I'm gonna murder you. I'm gonna give you a pazzo.
Yeah, basically. Tell me your show in Joburg. What? Because I've now tried to find your stand up online, and I could only find like a 2-minute snippet of stuff you did a while back. But it's also most of your stuff is in foreign Magrika, and then I can't understand anything.
No,
So just tell me what's happening with your show. How long is your show? What can people expect?
do you know, like when the clip that you might have found, I posted it because of like COVID hit and everyone was posting bits, so I posted it as well. But that was like sort of my peak, not my peak. I'm still peaking, but I was peaking back then. And then COVID came because I was going to come to SA. I was going to go Canada. I was going to do all of it. Then COVID came and then just stayed at home. So that was a part of my show, which my whole show is a bit of mixture of everything. It's like stand up. I pre-record a video in every country I go to give it like their own feel with my character in their country because that's something I want to do. I want every show to be like unique. So it's comedy, music, audience interaction, and my character comes out and does his own bit as well. And it is stereotypical. It's my story. Like it started off with stereotypical things, and then the last show I done in Australia was more my story because everyone sees me, hears me, and sees the way I look, and they're like, "Oh, this is just some English guy. Where do you live?" No one still knows where you come from. Where do you live? Blah, blah, blah. I've been here since I was 10. I've been through a lot, and so I put that into my comedy, into my stand-up, and let people know what I've been through, how I've been through it, and because it's been a comical venture, So I put that in. When I do stand-up in Cyprus, though, so when I go abroad, because there's Cypriots or Greeks abroad, they want to hear the Greek and Cypriot comedy because they miss it.
Yeah.
But when I do stand-up in Cyprus, it gives me that chance to do something more general, something more general basically, and just have a bit more fun with it, like sexual experiences, which I've not had many, and stuff like that. So I like doing stand up in Cyprus because I can just try new things and hope. So let's say I go to do a show at Josh's, I'm not going to use all the Greek stuff. I'm going to use the more general stuff. But if I do use the Greek stuff, I'm going to do it in a way where, like, because some Chinese people came to my show in Australia, I had jokes about Chinese people. And then 10 minutes before my show, Ming Hao, whatever his name is, booked tickets to my show. And I was like, fuck, am I going to do the joke? And then my friends were like, yeah, just do it. And they loved it. So I want to be that stand-up where even if I do stereotypical stuff, I can make people that don't understand it and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And my character, I don't want him to be so stereotypical because I do like my character being a tennis player, my character doing this, my character doing that. I want him to be the Greek Cypriot Borat. That's my goal. That's my dream. Because everyone loves
So just
Borat.
for people that don't know, this is now, how do you say it? Souvlakis.
Souvlakis.
Souvlakis. Now,
Yeah.
tell me how that, because obviously since I've been following you, a lot of your stuff online is of this guy. How the fuck did you get onto this guy? Where did you get this guy out your fucking back pocket?
Do you know, it was literally out my back pocket because I'm very honest, I'm very open. I was doing videos with someone else and they were just longing me out. They were doing their own thing. And I was like, all right, well, if he's doing his own thing, I've got these video ideas. I need to be two different people. I need to make another character. I didn't know I was making a character. I just wanted to make someone within that one video. So I went to the shop. I got whatever I thought an old, typical Cypriot Greek would wear. Went home, made the video, and it just popped off. It went viral, let's say. And my uncle's a stuntman in America. And he watches my stuff and he sees what I'm doing. He gives me tips and points of how to record, how to do certain things. And he said to me, you have something with this character. I was very I wanted to be the main guy. I was jealous of a fucking character that was me, basically. But he was like, you've got something with his character. You need to give him a name. You need to give him a persona. You need to do more with his character. And we just bounced off some ideas of names because he said, you got to give him a name. And because of my yaya's ex-boyfriend, it sounds weird. My yaya is a grandmother. We either had Gleftigagos, which means because his name was, I'm not going to say his name actually. His name was Andrico. Anyway, he used to rob my uncle while playing Tavli. Tavli was backgammon, and Gleftigagos was like Gleftis, thief.
Yeah.
Or he just came out. I don't know how he came out with that. Souvlakis. Souvlaki is food, and he just added an S on the end, Souvlakis, and I really liked it, so we called him Souvlakis. And then I made another video, and another video, and another video, and but the way I really enjoyed them, people really enjoyed him. A lot of people thought we were two different people. At one point, I was wearing a vest, so they saw the same tattoos, and then I wanted to wear a jacket so I could be a little bit different. And but obviously, I watch other people, I see other people, what they're doing abroad in America and this type of thing, and I liked a different type of concept. I didn't want to I've done all the stereotypical stuff. I've done the very stereotypical stuff, and I saw that it was being recycled over and over, and I just wanted to do different stuff. So now I've done if he was a tennis player, if he was this, if he was that. So I've just tried to evolve, and now he is this person that everyone loves, and I can't get rid of him.
Are you actively trying to sort of keep it separate, keep your stand-up separate from this entity that you've created, or are you finding yourself to sort of move over to using him more than doing yourself?
Personally, I want to just do stand-up as me, but even that was the goal. I'm slowly trying to just keep them separate. My character will make videos, I will be stand-up.
Okay.
But even
keep him online.
Yeah, but even in Australia, people loved him. And they loved stand-up, but they loved Souvlakis. And I before I went to Australia, I was I want to keep them separate. Because it's hard work. Whenever you do a show with two characters, you're basically creating two shows. My show is between an hour and a half and 2 hours long. So it's not just go on stage for an hour, do an hour stand-up and leave. And that's why I make a pre-recorded video before I come on stage. You see it is a show. And before I went to Australia, I was I just want to do stand-up. I'm going to just bring out Souvlakis just because they like him. But then this time when I went to Australia, I was I sort of fell in love with him again. Maybe because I didn't perform so much. I met a guy who was 102 years old.
Fucking
A Cypriot guy, 102 years old. I invited him to my show, and he came to my show, and I went and got him a cake, got everything ready. I went to the cake place. I was like, "Can I have some numbers?" They were like, "What numbers do you want?" I was like, 1, 0, and 2. They were like, "What is it? 10? Is he 10 or 12?" I was like, "No, it's 102." And they're like, modo, like, fuck. They were Greek. And when my character came out, I saw him, I spoke to him, and I got the whole audience to sing happy birthday to him. So one of my friends said that was the highlight of his life. I was like, he's 102 years old. If someone dressed up like a Cypriot guy with a fake mustache is the highlight of his life, he didn't have such a good life. Do you know what I mean? Like, no, mate. Do you know what I mean? No way. But it was beautiful. So I feel like I did fall in love with him again. Sometimes it's not about me, what I want to do. Sometimes it's about how how I make people feel. So if this person is making people feel good, my goal, my dream, my thing is to make people feel good. So I got to keep making people feel good. However, I want to do stand-up. I can still do stand-up in my show. I can still bring out Souvlakis. And I feel like my show in South Africa is going to be the best show I've ever done, because I've been to England, I've been to Australia twice. I've never been to South Africa. But I've learned things from all of these places. And I feel like I'm so comfortable. I know exactly what I'm going to do, exactly how it's going to go. And I think it will be my best show that I've ever done. And to be honest, the first show I've ever done in Australia, I never done a show before in my life. I've never got on stage before in my life. That was the first time I've ever done it, when I went in 2019. And if I was good, if I was bad, I think I was good. I have my hiccups. I have my faults. I'm only human. But the people that follow me showed so much love. They understand. But again, I think I did, at the end of the day, make them laugh. My stand-up might be okay, and I've got so much to learn. I have people that teach me, and I have a role model, which her name's Eleanor. She's an Australian comedian. She really taught me a lot. And without her, I wouldn't have even had the balls to do half of the stuff I've done. So
how did you get into this? Because obviously stand-up comedy is not something that you just decide, "Oh, I want to do it." Obviously, you have to be some sort of funny to do it. So how did you? Where was your start?
I'm just some type of funny, innit?
I'll give you that.
Do you know? Ever since I was young, we didn't have all this online, Instagram, Snapchat, and all this stuff. But ever since I was young,
how old are you now?
I'm good, and you?
No, how old are you?
I'm 35.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks. I don't look it. I'm gonna have to have a toilet break soon. I'm not even gonna lie, but I'm doing good. I'm watching the minutes. I'm like, if I do 30 minutes every toilet, it's good. It's a good roll. My mum's Italian. My dad's Cypriot. I look English. Yeah, I thought my dad wasn't my dad. I done DNA. I am his. So this is just like bad genetics. So my nonno, he used to say to my brother, "The money is in the football. The money is in the football." My brother was a good football player, but he didn't continue. He could have made good money. And he used to say to me that I was always going to be a comedian. You're going to be a comedian. You're going to be a comedian. Like my nonno from when I was young. And I just loved comedy, loved it. Whenever I felt down, wherever I used to go home. There was an English show called Only Fools and Horses. I'm sure you know it. And I used to just put it on, whatever I was doing, I just listen to it. It'd always make me feel better. And I used to watch like Richard Pryor, George Carlin, Jimmy Carr was one of my greats, Ali G when he was dressing up as Ali G. And these people done it without internet, without anything. And just whenever I laughed, I enjoyed it. But I always had this thing where I always said to myself, I want to make people laugh like that. I want to make people happy. I want to make people feel good. And it was my stepmom years later that said to me, write your goals on a piece of paper and put it on your fridge. And I wrote, I want a MacBook Pro, I want to go to India, and I want to make the world laugh. And I feel like I've accomplished it, but I'm still got a long way to go. I still need a MacBook.
So I take it you've been to India then?
Yeah, I'm joking. I've got a MacBook. But I just, I only started when Snapchat came. I started doing videos because Instagram was just photos. So Snapchat was videos. I started doing that. And within Snapchat, besides people sending each other's penises and vaginas and vagina and tits and stuff, I was doing just like funny videos. I was doing also the other stuff, but I was also doing like funny stuff. And some people would share me. There was like a little community, and then more people would follow you. And then I just thought, you know, I want to do it bigger. Then I started on YouTube, done some videos. But even though I'd done the videos with my character, I still didn't do stand-up. So that's why when I was doing the videos, people loved me. Then I got asked to go to Australia to do a show. I said yes. A lady called Mary from Adelaide came over and said, I'm going to go back to Australia. I'm going to talk to them. They were going to bring you over and do a show. Things like that didn't ever happen to me. Good things like that never happened to me. So when she went back and she actually followed up on her word, I was like, yeah, I'm coming. But I didn't know what show I was doing. I've never done stand-up in my life. And it was a bit of pressure because people see you doing a video and that you're funny doing a video, that you're behind the lens and planning and organizing and taking 10, 15 takes. But like to do it as stand-up, which was my dream, but I've never done it before, I just get thrown in the deep end, which I feel like in my life I've been thrown in the deep end a lot. And I feel like pressure and being thrown in the deep end is where I perform best. And I love this woman, Mary, for the rest of my life. And she is her and Eleanor, my dad, my stepmom Maria, and my sister. All of them are the people that really, and my brother James. I got to bring up my brother as well because like even mentally and physically, like they've all helped, you know, because it takes everything to do something like this, you know, and you always got to be grounded and humble, which I always am. Like I've always been, my dad taught me to always be respectful and thankful and appreciate everything. So I've always stayed the same.
So your start in comedy was making these videos. It was just trying to be funny online.
Yeah. Can I go to the toilet and we're going to continue?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm so sorry. You're filling up your fucking 10-pint glass anyway.
I'm moving over to whiskey now. So I'm on
one minute.
Glass.
I'm gonna piss myself, but still, you got to bring that What is that you're pouring? You got a bloody keg. What is that? That was like 10 liters, bruv. No, the thing that you're pouring.
It's just water.
That's Jesus Christ. What did you go to the well to fill it up?
No, it's this little room I've got is outside my house. This little room that I call my studio. So I don't have water and shit. Yeah, so I just sort out water in a 5-liter container.
Smart. I should bring that with the toilet. I will be 2 seconds. I'm sorry, you South Africans got bloody strong bladders.
Go for it.
So I remember what you was gonna say. So it started off from videos.
Yeah, was that yeah, so I mean how was the I almost want to ask you, like, what was the transition? Because you said the first time you ever did physical stand-up comedy was in Australia. So how did you sort of transition your content? I almost want to say, how did you develop your 15 minutes or however long you did from doing it in front of a camera to doing it in front of a crowd?
I never, on camera, I created videos. In front of the crowd, I done stand-up. And so even the first time I went on, I done a whole show. So I came out and done stand-up. I think I done maybe 40 minutes, which
for your first time?
Yeah. So I wrote stuff. And yeah, that's what I mean. I I'm not tooting my own horn, but like, man's kind of good, isn't it? You know what I mean? But I done 40 minutes, and then I done like a pre-recorded video where, because in Cyprus are always late, so I go backstage to find my character, and my character, because he was late, then he locks me in a room, and then he comes out, and I have a song called Cypriot God, and if you, I don't know if like
it's on YouTube,
yeah, I don't know if the churches are going to be happy, but if you type Cypriot God, I come up, and sorry Jesus, you know, and all of this, and I come out to that, which now I will do at the end of my show because it's a good way to leave. But I came out to that, and then I do a little thing where I walked around the stage, talk to people, have jokes, because I don't like people that sit in the back that they feel like they're not involved. So I go and I talk, and I never felt like yeah, my dad would always sing. If there was, my dad loved to sing. He's got a song on YouTube as well. We found it on tape, put it on YouTube. And he was always an entertainer, and he would love to sing. I never felt like I ever had it in me. My brother was always the one when we was at school singing and doing stuff, which he is amazing at as well. He's an amazing entertainer. I knew I wanted to be a comedian, but I never felt like I was going to be an entertainer. And only after that, it's like a drug. When you hear people laugh, it's amazing. Making videos is good. But you see comments, people write comments, ha ha, it's funny. Or you see someone that's like, it's not so funny, blah, 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 whatever. Doesn't matter. But when you physically hear it, it is like a drug. And that's what I want. There's all these influencers that, I'm not saying it's bad to be an influencer. I'm not an influencer. People might think I am, but I'm a comedian. Even after I done my first shows, I couldn't call myself a comedian because I felt like I didn't deserve it. I had to do like 4 or 5 or whatever shows before I could say, yeah, I'm a comedian. Now I can say I'm a comedian. I feel like I deserve it and I've earned it. And I'm not an influencer. In Cyprus and wherever I've been, I'm a really bad business person. That's what I'm going to say. People say, I'll give you this, I'll give you that, and you can promote this, you can push that. And I'm like, no, I respect you. I respect what you're doing. I don't want money just to post something on my Instagram. What is this? You know what I mean? And I want people to know that I respect everyone. I love everyone. And I really appreciate everyone's hustle. And I've actually got a talent, that I want to make money, not from you and posting on Instagram. I'd rather not do all these ads. If I find a big company that wants like something, I'll do it. But if I do it, I'll do it on my terms where I want to create a funny video, something great.
Yeah.
Like,
you don't want to just do a read off a piece of paper and
no joke. I'm not going to say names. Literally the other day, there was a guy last year. I don't care to say this, even if he hears it. This guy, this drinking thing really works, right?
It's nice.
This guy last year looked for me. He was looking for me. I'm going to get you jobs like to promote like companies and stuff and da 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 da. I was like, all right, cool. Find something, let me know. He calls me like a year later, the other month, like literally the other day actually. And he goes, there's this company, one of the biggest coffee companies in Cyprus. They want something like this. How much? And it was a video. It was work. It was creation. And I have a friend, Zoe, that has worked with me and doing videos from day one for nothing. She's helped me for nothing. And I said to her, like, whenever I make money, you make money, because I appreciate her. I appreciate what she's doing. She appreciates what I'm doing. She basically loves me. We are a team. So I always have her in mind. So I gave a price. If they want something good, if they want something funny that I've got to think of, a script, start, middle, and end, and basically, you got to also take into account the people that you're following, how much reach they're going to try and make money off of you. So you've obviously got to charge good. So I gave him a prize and he said I was expensive. I can get a superstar in Greece for that money, he said. I can get Fureira for that money, he said. And I was like, all right, cool, do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not going to, he wanted to give me €100 to like hire someone, create a video, like even someone that is like, doesn't do comedy or doesn't do influencing, for their time to sit, to create, to record and everything. Every single person in the world is worth more than €100 for that.
Yeah.
So I told him
It is an interesting thing nowadays where physical reach has become monetized. Where if you've got 50,000 followers on Instagram, then you can promote fucking coffee or whatever. It's a weird thing where you do not necessarily have a monetizable thing besides just your following. You might not be good at whatever, but it's just you've got a following. So here's money, promote this thing.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird.
It's weird, but because I have respect, I went to eat at this place the other day. It's called Miligi's. It's one of the best restaurants in Cyprus, hands down. Any tourist that is from Cyprus, comes to Cyprus, they go to Miligi's to eat. It's like, you know, beach, frappe, this, that, the other, eat at Miligi's, always. So I went there, and for years I've been going there. And the best gleftigo. When you come over here, we're going to go eat. And I went there, and one of the sons was like, "Oh, I know you." I was like, "Yeah, I come here all the time." And then he realized, because I make videos and everything, and he told me like, "Oh, we've just got Instagram. Like after 100 years of Instagram, they've just got Instagram." And I was like, "Ade, I'm gonna tag you. I'm gonna make a picture." Blah blah blah. He didn't ask for anything. He didn't ask. He didn't this. He didn't that. But I knew straight away. I knew he had Instagram. I wanted to post and show my love and show my appreciation to their hard work. They're the ones that it's 40 degrees walking around, serving tourists, serving people from here, feeding them, like cooking gleftigo in these clay ovens that is like it's 40 degrees, but these clay ovens are like 100 and something degrees. Do you know what I mean? So I owe it to them. I appreciate them. And he was like, "I owe you." I was like, "You don't owe me nothing. You know, you fed me, you this, that, the other." So it's a lot of these influencers, it's just business. It's just making money just because of reach, like you said. They're not natural. They're not organic. They're not real. I don't want to not be real. And if I'm not real, even my friends will give me a slap and tell me, "Hey, you're like, who are you?" Do you know what I mean? So I will always stay true to myself, and I would always show respect. And like people, "Oh, we're going to give you this for free." I don't want it for free. I want to pay for it because I want to support you. And I'll post a story for you and push you as much as I can. Because this is like, especially in Cyprus, this is my country, and I want people to come. I want tourists to come. I want people to know about these things. And because if my country's doing well, I'm doing well. Do you know what I mean?
I know. It's a weird thing because I feel like if you don't use a product or actually believe in it, you shouldn't be promoting it just because you're getting money. I think a lot of these things are a random company comes to you and says, "Listen, here's our product, promote it." But then you give this read of where they say, act ambitious and happy with product or fuck or whatever. And then you've never used it, but you're promoting something to people that you don't know how to fucking use the thing.
Exactly.
I'll promote whiskey because I fucking drink a shitload of the stuff, and I can go, "This is nice. Drink this thing." But it's I don't know. It's a
Do you know
fucking
what?
funny thing.
I've said to so many people, like I have friends that are in, like they do giveaways. I know people that do giveaways. I know, because I do web design development as well. So
Is that your day job?
That's my day job. It will always be my day job. I used to think, I don't want to get away from that and just do comedy for the rest of my life. I can do comedy and this. It's like something normal, something, I get experiences from it. I get knowledge from it, and it can help me with stand up. But what I say is, for me, influencers are finished, but it's going to take some time for people to understand that. And the biggest influencers that can actually bless you. the
Cheers,
biggest influencers that can actually help you are the real people that actually use your product or need your product. So I say to people, like, when you do a giveaway, or even sometimes, even if there's no giveaway, if you see that there is like a mother of 3 who works hard, who follows your product, who posts, who tags, who shares, who comments, give them a gift. If you give them a gift, they're going to appreciate that so much. They're going to post it. They're going to tell their friends. Even if they don't post it and they tell their friends, you're going to get more purchases from them than you are for some woman that has 1 million followers. Because their 1 million followers don't give a fuck about you. This woman is going to love that. So real people are going to help you grow your product more than these influencers going around acting fake. Do you know what I mean? Like, I won't ever do it. I will not do it. If I get a big deal from a company, like one company I would love a big deal from is Durex, because I use Durex, and I've got an amazing, funny idea, and it's a good message. Do you know what I mean? So I'll do that. There's things that
here's your chance. Take a minute and do your Durex promo, and then I'll cut this out and use it as a short on YouTube.
No, it's a video idea with my character.
No, I know, but you must know. This is your approach to Durex.
Hey, so I'm going to talk to Durex.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, hey, Durex, I get the large all the time. Yeah. Do you know, I'm not even joking. Once, I didn't even know that there was sizes. I just thought it was like colors and flavors. And once I bought a pack of Durex, and I was with a lady friend I was on the beach. All right. I don't usually do stuff like this. I'm not like exhibitionist and all of that. But and then I went to put it on, and it wouldn't fit. And she thought I was really big. And I was like, hell yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And she was like, oh, yeah. And it was like, oh, I've got to like level up from Durex to Trojans and that. But basically, I got the really small ones, and they didn't fit. True story, they didn't actually fit. And
I feel like that's bullshit though, because I've seen those videos where the woman puts that thing over her fucking entire leg.
No, but there's
my man.
There's small ones. Literally, I don't have the length, but I got the girth. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at me. I'm short, but I'm built. Staunch. That's like my dick. Do you know what I mean?
Well done.
But yeah, shit. Make sure you get because that could be a video of itself. Like, because then we didn't do the intercourse because I want to wrap up. Because
I honestly thought that they were one size fits all. I did not know. Obviously, we all know you get the fucking those gold Trojans that fucking you can wrap your whole body in.
Yeah, but they're not. This one was tight as shit. I promise you that. Have you got a kid? You got a kid, innit?
I've got a kid, yeah.
Yeah?
A 3-year-old.
And maybe because you got the small condoms and you thought, fuck it.
Well, I'm married, so fuck all condoms. But listen, yeah. I wanna ask you something about, because we did touch on it quickly earlier with your sort of mixed heritage or whatever you call it, because you are what? You are Greek and
I'm Cypriot Italian.
Cypriot Italian.
Yeah.
But where were you born?
I was born in England. So that's
and then you were here for a while.
Yeah, I was in England until I was 10 years old. And 10 years old, we left, literally put clothes in a black bag, went to airport and finished. Come to Cyprus. Thought it was a holiday. Dad said, we're not going back, and was here ever since. Like, literally, I have a joke in my stand-up. I don't know if you're going to get it, but that's not being patronizing. My dad actually kidnapped me. Maybe I'm Madeline McCann. That was the joke.
I think you've got a bit of a thicker mustache than she has.
But it was the best kidnapping ever, I would say, because living in Cyprus and growing up here, I always felt like I was different to the people I grew up with in England, because there was a lot of drugs, there was a lot of this, there was a lot of that.
Yeah.
But I was never allowed to go out late and do these type of things, and like not because like, oh yeah, go and do some drugs, you know. But I was never involved in it. I never wanted to be involved in it. So by coming to Cyprus, I feel like I didn't know. I have no idea where I would have been if I stayed in England. If we stayed in England,
Yeah.
I don't know how I would have ended up. So personally, I owe Cyprus everything to me, because like even kids here, like you would come over here and see kids at 15, 16 going out and having coffee with their friends, where in England they're in the park or waiting outside supermarkets asking for someone to buy them beer or alcohol or vodka.
Yeah.
You know, because we don't need to ask people outside peripterals or kiosks or shops, because we go get it ourselves. You know, so I feel like in Cyprus we treat teenagers more like adults, and by doing that, they get a bit more respect. They grow up a little bit quicker, which teaches them the way to not like sort of rebel and just go out and hide behind their parents' backs, because they can go to a bar, they can have a drink. But obviously, you know, there has to be some rules and everything. When I was 16, I was, you know, going out having a drink, you know, going home trying to pretend I wasn't drunk and stuff like that. But I don't know. Being in Cyprus like really made me who I am. All I just said was I went out and got drunk, and I love Cyprus. That's basically what I just said.
But it is, I think, because I've now followed you a while online. And I've seen some of your chats with other oaks on podcasts and radio stations and stuff like that. And I think you do have an interesting sort of perspective on things, because you are Italian, you're Greek, you grew up in England at sort of to a certain age. And there's one thing that I saw where you complained like a little bitch about sort of Cypriot people not seeing you as Cypriot.
Yeah, all the time. Look at me. You know what I mean?
To be honest with you, I thought when I saw your stuff the first time, I think Josh sent me your Instagram page. And I thought you immigrated from like New Zealand or Australia. I thought you were from over there.
Why? Because of me talking about Australia, or
it might have been a bit of influence from that, but I think you look like, to be now this is going to sound mega fucking racist, but you honestly look like Australian or New Zealand to me, not knowing anything coming from South Africa.
I've been called worse. Not worse. You can't say worse because it's another country that people live in. But do you know what I mean? But I've been, that isn't the worst thing that I've been called. It's because I don't know. I don't know why I look like this.
I think your I think the way you speak also threw me off, because you've got a bit of British in there. And then you've got British, and then you've got the Greek in there. And then I don't know, at your sort of accent threw me off a bit, and I wasn't sure. I obviously quickly picked up where you're from. But does that influence your stand-up? Sort of having a foot in so many different sort of backups.
I will say this is like, I am. Let me do this a little bit. I am half Italian, but I've never really explored that, which I do hope to do soon. I want to go to Italy more, go where my nonno and nonna was from. But when it comes to my accent, I went to Australia in 2019, and I did like pick up on some ways of talking. Like I used to say better, and now I say better. So maybe some of the way, like some things I say do sound a bit more, let's say, Australian or Kiwi. And as a comedian, I would say, like I was in Cyprus from 2019. I went to England for a little bit, which England is England to me because I've always been there. I don't really pick up on like new experiences and everything like that. Going to Australia and going to other countries does help being a stand-up because any sort of new experience can create new content and new
Is that
stand-up.
sorry, I just want to interject there. Is your stand-up style is it more like storytelling? Is it the real life sort of lived events that you go through?
It is more at the so when I went in 2019 to Australia, it was a little bit of storytelling, but more of what I felt like the people wanted to hear. But then it sort of turned into more storytelling with little bit of jokes and puns in between. Because I think Ricky Gervais said, like, if it's yours, you know, that you have nothing to worry about, basically. And so I want to write things that are mine, my stories and my jokes. And so I don't have anything to worry about. Sometimes before I get on stage, I'm so nervous. Like my friend Eleanor, she always knows I'm nervous. And I'm like, she goes, she used to worry for me, but then she doesn't worry no more because she knows how I'm going to feel after. And she knows I'm going to feel great. And when I was in Australia this time, I was worrying, I was reading. Usually I forget everything before I get on stage. But then I get on stage, I say one thing, I get a laugh, and then that's me. And this time I was like, why am I worrying? Why am I thinking? Why am I over it? Because I did try to write my stand-up a little bit smarter, have some smarter words, smarter puns. But then I did think to myself, this isn't me. These things that I wrote, and I had a friend who really put his time in to help me write some of these things. I was like, that isn't me. I wouldn't speak like that. I wouldn't say that. And then I just sort of like threw that out the window and just whatever came out. And because they're my stories, I don't need to think about them. I can just say them as the way I would talk to friends. Like there's one stand-up, Bill Burr. I'm sure you know him. Yeah. The way he does comedy, the way he just talks to the audience like they're his pals, they're his friends, and it's just him having a rant. I respect that. The way Jimmy Carr is so ruthless with his jokes and hits every punchline, I respect that and I love that. Ricky Gervais, his sarcasm, I love that. So I feel like I try to take traits from everyone, and I'm not any of them people and nowhere near. And I have so much to learn, and I'm willing to do that. But yeah, so I am, let's say, storyteller, and if it's happened to me, I'll talk about it and I'll find comedy. And yeah, basically, I think I was going to say.
But it is important, I think, in your line of work to find, as cliche as this might sound, to find your voice, is to find your thing. And if you, most of the podcasts that I listen to that I've spoken about on here before, is they are stand-up comedians, mostly American, but that like Bill Burr is most of his stuff is also, it's lived events, as you said, it's real, and that's what makes it funny, is because he did that thing. He went through that thing. So he can tell that story better than anyone else because he went through it and he can find the funny in it. Where if you try and sort of make something up, you have to make it funny. Where if you've gone through it, then it is funny because you went through it.
But sometimes it's like at the beginning, I would tell a story like I knew people knew about it, and it wouldn't do so well because I would rush. But when you hear Bill Burr say a story and everything, the way they do it, the art of it is trying to make you feel like you are there. you are in his position. So I feel like that's the art of it. So I'm doing my best, and I will always get better. But like I said, better now. But that's the art of it, to make you feel like you're in that position. Like, so if it's something embarrassing, you feel embarrassed. You're like, oh my God. Do you know what I mean? Not just like they say it and it's done.
Yeah.
Like how I used to do it. Now you got to say the story, build it up, like let them enjoy it. Usually, like before, I would say a joke to get to the punchline, where now I want to ride it. I want to ride it, enjoy it, have fun with it, and let the people enjoy it. Like there's no rush. I used to feel like I was on TV once. I was on this show, and I used to just say stuff, and that was it. I don't want to do that no more. I want to just have fun. Like I used to, the first time I done stand up, I had like 12 subjects that I wanted to talk about. And then over the years, after meeting Eleanor and getting some, Eleanor Gabrielle, by the way, getting some tips and everything, that 12 subjects turned into 5. So then you just spend more time on the 5 and enjoy them and build them up and have fun with them. Because that's the whole point. People don't want you to go on stage and try and just rush through jokes. Yeah. They want you to have fun. They want to hear. They want to know about you. The reason they follow, that's why there's so many comedians that really stand out, because they're unique and they have their own stories, their own like thought. Sometimes I watch a stand up and they say something and I was like, I would never have thought that. And for me, that is someone special, because they think differently to everyone else. When I hear, the one thing I hate is hearing stand-ups that copy other people's jokes, or even found another person's joke and just tweaked it. In Cyprus, Greek comedy, I hear a lot of people translating English jokes to Greek, which, I've heard that before. It's not, I don't respect that. And there's so much of it, but what to do,
I think you can, I watch a lot of, there's a show called Kill Tony. I don't know if you know Tony Hinchcliffe, yeah.
I think I've heard it, yeah.
And you can see in a lot of the younger comics coming on there, they want to rush to the punchline, because that's where you get the dopamine. That's where you get the big laugh. And I think it is something to learn, that you have to take people along for the ride to get there. Yeah. And you get little laughs here and there in the story, but you have to take people on that ride. You have to make them part of the story to get to the ending, and not rush to the ending. Because it is, for me, the comedy that I enjoy the most is when a comedian, and I want to come to a story now, or a bit of yours about the only bit that I've seen of yours about the Tinder thing, is you sort of almost establish the punchline beforehand, where you set up your story and everyone in the audience goes, I know where this goes. And then you just have that tiny little twist somewhere where you go, oh, fuck, I didn't think of that. Exactly as you said now, like you hear people, you never would have thought of that. And that is what makes it funny, where Tom Segura, he just launched, I don't know if you've seen his new special.
I'm halfway through it. Is amazing guy.
And I've been following him for years and years, so I know every single story that he can tell. I know, because I listen to his podcasts, I listen to him on other people's podcasts, so I know all of his stories. All of the stories that's in his special, I know, and he still managed to get a hook in somewhere where I fucking was crying laughing, and that is what makes him better than fucking 99% of other people, is he can tell you a story that you already know and still make it funny.
And you know what? I bet you as well, some of the stories, even in his special that he said, sometimes without even thinking, a joke will come. So you'll be telling the story, you'll think of something, you'll just say it. It'll just come out automatically and you're like, oh, fuck, that was good. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to add that in. So like even doing your material, doing the story, even though it's your story, you might accidentally put in jokes here and there. Like I done a joke in Australia, and at one point I was meant to say something like, who's your dad? Just who's your dad? And instead I was like, who's your daddy? And he got so many laughs, and I was like, oh, like that was good. Just by changing that little tweet, like who's your daddy? And I was like, that is really good. And then I used it later on. So even the smallest tweak can really, because like who's your daddy is like more of a saying than who's your dad?
Yeah.
And it just works. So the more you do, like I've never done a stand-up that, okay, some of my jokes, I think you do your joke. If you've just started it, you keep doing it and it evolves. And at one point it's perfect. And anytime I tweak it, I know it's not perfect. And then some of them I've got, it's perfect. And I do it the same way all the time. But some, even in Australia, I just tweaked it, I changed it, and it just flowed much better. I've got the recording and I edit. And it's exciting because even the crowd play a very big part in doing shows. Like one of the best crowds I've ever had was either London or Larnaca, my hometown. I was nervous. I was the most nervous in both of them places because like London is like basically where I'm from and Larnaca is where I am. But it was next level. And I had an Irish girl shout out in my Larnaca show, and I do the worst Irish accent ever, and it went down good. So there is so many factors in comedy, and like someone said as well, stand-up comedy is like one of the only arts that you can only know if it does well by actually doing it.
Yeah.
And it's scary, but it's fun at the same time. I love it.
How do you work out your bits? Because that's something that's very interesting. Because, like I said, most of the stand-up sort of content that I take in is American, and they are fortunate in a sense where they've got fucking comedy clubs everywhere. How many mics are you able to do in, let's say, a month? I mean, how do you work through your material to actually see, okay, now I need to change this or I need to change that, and okay, this works. How often are you on stage?
Not often. I just do shows. And because like in Cyprus, there is this there's a couple of comedy groups and these types of things. Many of them, their audience are more waiting to hear Greek or Cypriot comedy. So I'm not going to join them because I don't want to just get on stage and people don't know what I'm saying, because my comedy is in English. And at the same time, if you do go, you need to do a good, I don't know, like if there was a place that was like English comedy and you just jump on and do 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I'll be all over that. I'll be all over it. But at the same time, Cyprus is small. So even if I was going to do 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, when I do decide to do the show in Cyprus, because it's small, everyone would have heard my whole show before I even done my show. So I might as well just try and write it, perfect it, and just do a show. So that's what I do. It's annoying. I would like to go abroad and do my comedy as well, but when I do go abroad, I'm doing a show. So I'm pre-recording like I said, I pre-record a video for every single show. So wherever I go, I pre-record a video. I just try to focus on my show, because my show is like I said, hour and a half, 2 hours long. It depends on the audience and everything, how long it goes. But an hour and a half is minimum. So I just try to like focus, because at the end of the day, people have spent their hard-earned money to watch me. So I don't want to go around playing around.
Yeah.
When really I should just be focusing on doing what I've set out to do, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
See, because I think that's the thing is you don't want to test out material.
It's me. It just changes on its own. I can hear you now. Sorry.
Can you hear me? You don't want to test out material at a show. You want to test out material at a random mic that you do somewhere. Is it not worth it for you then to just at a local pub or something start an open mic where on a Tuesday you've got an open mic and people can just come through and fucking...
Yeah, but who? Like, Cyprus isn't as big as you think. You know, there isn't, like, the stand-ups in Cyprus could be, you could count them on your hand. And like I said, some people might want to hear English, people might not know Greek. You know, there could be Greek comedians, people don't know Greek, English comedians, people don't know English. So it's a bit, do you know what I mean? Up in the air. If someone made the only way it could work, if someone made a place where it was the Comedy Store, it did have these set things every week, and people were going there for that reason, to hear comedians, English or Greek. But now it's like they either do it in different bars around Cyprus, which is the only way, because I don't know, like, is anything different in Cyprus is a risk, because we don't have many people. We have many places, but we don't have so many people that are always going to be going to these places, because people sort of go with the flow as well. And the weekend, like, if something big's happening, they're going to go there. They're not going to go to the Comedy Store. The people that love comedy are going to go to the Comedy Store. I'd live there. But we don't have a Comedy Store, you know, so the population plays a role, the language plays a role, and the people play a role. And you've still got birds tweeting, like, is it not dark yet?
No, sun's still up, yeah. No, the sun will only set in, what's it now, 8:30. Sun will only set in like an hour and a half.
At the same time, I would class myself lucky and unlucky, because how would they call it? I'm a big fish in a small pond.
Yeah.
And I'm different. So for doing that, and I only was able to get an audience to come and watch me for stand-up because of my character. That's where I will always love my character and love Souvlakis. Talk about him like he's a different person, because he is what made me, you know, like what I was given, it was basically a gift to have the audience, is what a lot of stand-ups that are starting wish to have. Do you know what I mean? So I really appreciate that.
Is he based on someone specific, or did you just go, you want to make the most stereotypical fucking Greek out there? I mean, you obviously did tell us now about your grandmother's ex-boyfriend, but is that solely him, or did you just go for like, because I've got one of my best friends in South Africa is Greek. She grew up in South Africa, but they are fucking Greek. They've got a corner shop, the whole fucking thing. And that character is, I feel like I know Souvlakis. And it is, for me, looking in from the outside, that is the stereotypical fucking Greek. Is that the sort of thing that you went for?
Souvlakis, do you know what? I love him to bits. I love him so much, man. That's so mad. He's in the wardrobe. Souvlakis he evolves. He was based on in my stand-up, I was doing aluminium, like double glazing when I was young. So he was based on any old school or any middle-aged Cypriot that I knew, and my grandmother's ex. And then through time, at one point, I was helping my friend build his house with his father-in-law. His father-in-law is called Andoni. A lot of people know Andoni from my stories and everything. He's the most lovable Cypriot villager you've ever met. And like little jokes that he used to do, like he didn't know they were jokes. But for me, it was funny. I would say something in English, and he would say whatever he thought it meant in Greek. So I would say like schedule, he'll go shujuko, which is a sweet. So for me, them little things were comedy. So he evolved, and Souvlakis for me he is an old school, modern Greek Cypriot man that shows the hospitality, the Cypriot hospitality, which I remember from a kid, but yet is also a bit of a Malaga. Do you know what I mean? So that is Souvlakis. Because like for me, even me growing up, because I've been here since I was a kid, sometimes people make me feel like I don't not deserve to say stuff, but because they don't think I'm from here and I haven't grown up here, I don't feel like, but I've been here since like 1999. And I remember the Cypriot hospitality and how back in the day, we would just be like, come in, sit and eat, come in here, have this is from me. And only a small amount of places still do this. Like one of the places, which is Miligi's, the place I spoke about before.
Yeah.
And that's why I respect them so much, because people that still give this Cypriot hospitality is what keeps Cyprus alive, because people remember that. And that's who Souvlakis is. Souvlakis is someone who thinks he's modern, but he's old school. But he thinks he knows what's going on, but he doesn't. And
is there a massive difference between being Greek and being a Cypriot? Is there a big cultural difference between, because Cyprus is an island,
yeah,
and it's not. I mean, it's.
I need to tread carefully.
It's Greek, but very, it's not. Is it different?
We are Cypriot. We are our own country. But our ancestors are Greek. But all I'm going to say from a mutual ground is basically a lot of people class ourselves as Cypriot. A lot of people class ourselves as a Greek Cypriot. A lot of people wanted a union with Greece. A lot of people didn't. So that is it. That's what I'm going to say. I plead the Fifth Amendment. I stopped talking. But because I'm a comedian and I don't get offended by stuff. I can't get offended by stuff. I'll be a shit comedian. I love everyone. I love everything. And I cannot care less. You know, if someone goes, but the political, I don't care political shit.
Fuck that shit.
Give a shit. Because politics, they treat us like this. Really, we're all humans. We're all people. We all should love each other. And at the end of the day, if the politics and money and greed wasn't involved, we'll be cool. There'll be no wars. We'll be like chilling out, and there wouldn't be borders and all this crap. And if anyone says different, suck your mum.
I want to ask you something on that, but I need to go take a piss now. So let's just take.
Oh my God, you keep pissing, bro. What the fuck is this? I'm gonna go fill up then.
Go for it.
Not with piss, with drink. I'm gonna hang myself in my.
Don't do that.
Lekker brew. Do you like my? Oh, big up my friend Thelma Tsergodisa. She drew that. It's like a zombie
Fat unicorn.
No, it's like a zombie pony clown. I like the way you have to take your glasses off to see something. What the fuck?
But I have to. I don't have a problem with seeing stuff. I've got a problem with depth perception. So my eyes don't want to go from far to near. And I know it doesn't make sense because I'm looking at a screen, but that's just I'm so used to doing that.
So you have a problem with depth.
My eyes, I can see and I can see far.
When you look at your penis, do you have them on or off?
Sorry?
When you look at your penis, do you have them on or off? I'll have them one on.
It depends on where my hand is on my penis, because if it's far away, I'm gonna have to put them on to just help my eyes go from
If it's
close
far
to...
away, I guess you're doing pretty well.
Um.
Yeah, you've
Oh yeah.
interrupted by going to the toilet.
Oh, what the fuck
I
were you
actually
talking
went
about
for
now?
I remember. Yeah, man. Birds, bro. Birds, man. Sweet, sweet. We were talking about where comedy comes from, the stories and stuff like that, I guess.
Fuck. Anyway, I what I wanted to... let's just go. I want to ask you this. I watched your video where you did your DNA test thing, and I've always wanted to do that, but it's fucking expensive. It's like to do that. What do they call it? Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. To do that heritage, fucker, where you come from, what your makeup is, test is like fucking 90 pounds or £100.
That's like one Starlink a month, fam.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go there. Is that the fucking the UK coming through thick there? I'm not. I don't feel like it's a useless thing to do, because it's going to tell me something that I most likely know, and then
Listen,
I don't feel like it's worth spending that amount of money to just go.
it's not.
Oh,
It's not. I had a reason to do it. I look the way I look. My parents are Greek, Cypriot, Italian. I'm meant to be tall, dark, handsome, with dimples and be on the cover of Vogue magazine. Okay, but I look like this. So I had a reason. I thought, like, my mum might have, she better not watch it. Anyway, you get what I'm trying to say. And I thought, fuck it, I'm going to do a little test, because I want to figure that out. Because my brother's dark skin, got olive skin. I sort of look like my sister, but she's got good skin. She gets tanned and everything like that. So I wanted to do a test, because I get red and everything. And I've done a test, and I am what I am, I'm like South Italian, Greek, Cypriot, West Asia, which is basically Cyprus, because like through the ancient times, so much stuff happened within Cyprus. 10% North African, which is my penis. And
nice.
We went through that for the condoms. And 3% Jewish.
Yeah, you're Ashkenazi Jewish, which is very specific, and I went to go look at that. It's actually very interesting.
I never looked at it. Teach me.
Back in the day,
yeah, go for it. I like this.
Back in the day, when the Jewish were still in Mesopotamia, they basically split in half and decided, well, half of us is going to stay here and half of us are going to go to Europe.
So did I go? Did I go or did I stay?
The ones that went to Europe are the Ashkenazi Jews. So you that. Well, what's very interesting is this actually, you might be able to use this as material, because this ties back into your Tinder joke, your Tinder bit. Because if you are Ashkenazi Jewish,
you're not tied.
You are tied back to about 330 people, because it's only a small group of about 300 people that came to Europe. And they say that if you are if you're Ashkenazi Jewish, you are related to all the Ashkenazi Jewish, whether it's like fucking what, but you are related. So
not all of them, because not all 330 could have been like brother, sister, auntie, uncle.
No, but because the Jewish are...
It must have been a long boat ride, and they're all...
No, but the Jewish are very specific in... they all sort of intermingle, where it might not be with direct family, but it's within the Ashkenazi Jewish, within the culture. So you will be related in terms of cousins, or it might not be direct blood, but it'll be blood of blood.
I've got a fifth cousin. I met from that someone I knew, a girl I knew, like personally knew. Nothing ever happened. I promise. One day just message. I saw the name and I was like, it can't be them. Like, then I get a message. Hey, cuz, we're fifth cousins.
Yeah.
She might be one of the Jewies.
But this actually ties in well. I don't know. Do you
So
still
I'm allowed
use
to
your?
I'm allowed to do Jew jokes. I'm Jew.
Yeah, you can go for it now.
I've got a really good one, but if I ever done it, I have one. It was really good. And it was like natural. I said it to someone. I don't know if I should be saying this online. I won't do the joke. I will never do the joke. Only maybe in November if I get to open up for Jimmy Carr. It was really good. It's not rude. It's not nothing, but it's amazing. It's play on words, bit of history. Beautiful. I'll tell you off screen. And I get a lot of. This is the expression I get after that.
Oh, that's what you want, though. Do you still use that? Is that Tinder bit still part of your material, or can we burn it on you?
No, I'm going to do it in South Africa.
Okay, well then let's not burn it then.
Because it's built up. Like even this time I've done something that I've done in 2019, but I built on it. And I'm going to build on this.
Let's not burn it then, but I feel like this can tie into as your I cannot say this without burning it, but as your matches go, your pool is getting a lot smaller because you're going to have to be specific about the Ashkenazis now.
But even this Tinder bit, if you sort of make it not so not Greek, but Cypriot, Greek, make it a bit more general, a lot of people could, if I made it a bit more general, a lot of people could enjoy it and accept it based on getting their my heritage thing. So I could even make it more general, and it could be like I want to have a joke one day that's online, and like because comedians that'll be like, that comedian that done that joke about Russians, Russian accents are very scary. If I don't know if you ever watched that, I can send it to you. It's really good. So stuff like that. Did you know? I don't know if you ever. I watched a lot of podcasts about stand up when I was getting into stand up. Before I went and done my show, I was like, how do they write their stand up? I was Googling it and everything. And a lot of, like, even Kevin Hart was like, cue cards, just write the name of the joke and just remember it. And I remember coming across Russell Peters, Indian, Canadian guy. He was like the first YouTube comedian. And basically he mastered his stand-up. Mastered it. It was perfect. It was crisp. And someone recorded it and put it on YouTube. And after they put it on YouTube, like he couldn't go perform it. Like I think he did. I don't know if he did. Yeah, like you said, it burns it. So at the same time, like there weren't no YouTube monetization, and he got burnt. So it's just like amazing. Like you got to really be careful. That's why like a lot of people don't want recording and videos while they're doing stand up, because that is their bread and butter. I met Angelo Tsarouchas. He's a Greek Canadian comedian, and I would say he is one of the best like Greek comedians that has ever been around. And the way I think is like he has some really good bits. We had some food. He's very good friends with Russell Peters. He gave me some good advice. He gave me some good stories, and just like talking to him and hearing stories about like even him that I've watched since growing up and respected, and hearing stories about his friends that are like these top comedians. It's like, how did I become here? How and even at his show, at the end of his show, he bigged me up and gave me like recognition, which is, he's so respectful. But at the same time, what I'm trying to say is he's done jokes which are like stereotypical and are great, and he smashed it. And for me, I think the way I think is like that's hands off that subject now. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't touch him. Like he's done an amazing thing about car rentals, renting car in Greece, and I wouldn't touch the subject unless I actually have a story that is different, completely different. I won't even touch it, because number one, I respect him too much, and number two, he smashed it. It's just respect. So I try to not. Sometimes I think of a joke and then I Google it or I YouTube it to see if it's already been done. And if it has by anyone, I don't want to do it.
Yeah,
I'd rather not.
I think in comedy you have to be very careful of not necessarily just a joke but a premise. Where I mean you might have different material, but it handles the same premise as another guy, and then you almost stepping on that. Where I actually spoke the previous episode that I did on the podcast I did with a South African musician, and we spoke a bit about where in music it is with the physical music, not the lyrics, but with the music, you only have so many chord progressions that you can use. So it's difficult to make a new song. And there was a while ago, it was international news with what's his name, the fucking redhead guy.
Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran was in the news about an old song that they said that he fucking stole, and it came out that he didn't, because there's 75 other songs that use the same chord progressions, and there is only so much that you could do with a certain amount of chords. And I feel like it does flow through to comedy because, as you said earlier, you talk about stuff. Your comedy is about your true lived events. You don't touch on other stuff because that's what happened to you. That's your story. But the premise is yours. And I think that's what you said is that guy that you spoke about now, he's got that premise. You might have a different joke about it, and it might be completely different, but it's got the same premise. So then you don't touch. And it's just the respect thing. I mean, I don't know if you know about the bullshit with Joe Rogan back in the day, why he left the store.
No, tell me.
There was a guy, I can't remember his name. I'll have to Google it quickly, but he was known for fucking stealing people's bits, and then Joe Rogan took him on. And then it was this hell of a fucking big hullabaloo, and then Joe Rogan just decided, fuck it, I'm taking my own path. He's never needed anyone. I mean, he's been set up for greatness since fucking forever. He just had that path. But I think we need people like that to take a stance and go, this is not right. This is not fucking how you do it. And
I would feel embarrassed if I ever done something. It would never be intentional, and if I was ever brought up on it, I would always just be like, hands up, like I didn't know. Do you know what I mean? So I would never do a joke or even write something. Like I said to you, I would Google it, YouTube it. If it was even done, sometimes I'm like, oh, fuck, that's so funny. And then I would write it in. Like so many times I thought of something funny, and then even like, you know what TikTok and Instagram's like? They just bring you up shit. And then like I would see a comedy about it. And I was like, that's what I was thinking. Like I've got a set now that I'm writing that is nothing to do with being Greek or Cypriot or anything. It's just about being a man, really. And I think it's really funny, and men go through it a lot, and I haven't seen it anywhere. So keeping it quiet before Google hears me and like makes an AI about fucking this exact thing. But I'm very excited to perform it and see. So that's what I mean. Like, I haven't performed it yet, but I'm gonna write it, and I would only perform something that I find funny. And if I find it funny, it's fucking funny. And I have some friends that are like, say, yeah, Cypriot. Like, I have a friend called Nicola that if he laughs, it's funny. If he doesn't laugh, it could still be funny. He's just got bad humor. But if he does laugh, it is funny, you know? So he's sort of my... I have another friend, Alexandro, that barely knows fucking English. Like, I'll tell him you could tell him the most funniest joke in the world, on the planet, in English, he won't get it. He will just look at you and go, no. That's it. So it's quite hard when it comes to like a creative person to talk to. Like when I went to Australia and when I'm in England and stuff like that, you've got people on your level. Over here, you know, my friends are amazing. I love them to bits. But when it comes to like getting jokes or like try to throw like some ideas around, they're not the best. I'm like, I don't even care if they hear that. Fuck them.
How do you work through material though? How do you know that a bit is ready to put on stage? If you, like we said earlier, I mean, you don't have the mics in Cyprus that you can go to and work through 10 minutes or 15 minutes a new bit that you want to put in. How do you know that a bit is good enough to not disappoint when you go on stage with a big show?
I would talk to friends, either abroad, like I told you about my friends just now. They're the friends around here, but like sometimes, like I would call Xenon. Xenon like really gives me his time. Xenon really, he watches comedy, he enjoys comedy. So even if I said a subject to Xenon, or my friend Valentino in England, or some other people that actually enjoy comedy, even if I said something, they would their head and they understand where I'm trying to go, and they can picture it. When a lot of my other friends, they just want to hear the whole thing to understand it. So if I said, let me think of it, like an example. This was like last minute joke where Chinese people, we see like Chinese people, they eat insects, fried insects, you know, they're eating fried insects and it's disgusting. We're looking at it like it's fucking disgusting. Look at them eating fried insects. It's horrible. What the fuck are they doing? But at the same time, when I was watching this like news interview of Chinese eating insects with my uncle Stavros, he was sucking a snout, eating fucking goat's brains, eyeballs, tongue, and fucking pair of balls. Do you know what I mean? So I would say that to a friend, and he will, yeah, that's funny. There's a joke there, but it's now I just said it to you. I didn't perform it to you. So when I perform it and I hit the punchline, it's funny because it's from another person's view. Like I grab the audience, understanding, yeah, that's fucking disgusting eating a cockroach, a fried cockroach. But then when I hit them back with things that we do that could possibly be seen as disgusting to them, then they're like, oh, fuck it, I get that now. Do you know what I mean? So it's stuff like that, really. Anything that I think could be funny, I bring up. I've done something in Australia which I found funny, which I didn't really get too many laughs, but I removed it from the first show and changed it in the second show. So that can happen. It can grow, it can change, it can get better. And yeah, so it's just like that, really. Just trial and error with friends. And then I just perform it. I would love to go and do 10 minutes without the worry of having to get people to come to my show. Do you know what I mean? I'd love it. But I haven't got that luxury. I'm not in the circle over here, you know? And even if they were to invite me in, I'm not sure how. It's not just about being invited in. It's about the audience as well. You know, I feel rude to go to an all Greek Cypriot speaking audience that not too sure on English and go and do an English because they could, they might not appreciate that, and they might not respect that. They might not have expected that. And
is your Greek as good as your English?
Look, I think Greeks would enjoy my Greek because I speak broken, so they could find it funny.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's not as good as my English because, like, it's my vocabulary. So even the sarcasm, the way I could speak, the way I can be sarcastic in English, I couldn't really do that in Greek. I would say my Greek is between 75 and 80%. If I was to do a test, I would get a C. Actually, I mostly get an F because I can read, but sometimes I don't know what I'm reading. So, but at the same time, when I'm doing stand up to like Greeks and Cypriots, I will speak English, but Greek words will come out. But I'm very good with people. I can feel when, like in one of my shows, there was a Greek guy called Gosta, and he was at my show, and I could feel that I didn't know if he spoke very good English. So I would try to connect with him on a level. He would be my person of contact to try and, whenever I spoke a little bit of Greek, it would be with Costa. And then I make him feel comfortable, and then he's my person. Then I'd always go back to Costa whenever I wanted to like have a break or like switch it up a little bit. So I could try, like I said, it could be throw me in the deep end, go try it, go do 10 minutes. But at the same time, I feel like I'm robbing people just to go do 10 minutes. Now that I've done 40, 45, an hour. But at the same time, it's hard because now if I do that, then I need to then go write another 40, 45 minutes to an hour worth of material. At the same time, I would like to just get on stage and just talk and say bullshit and just talk. I feel like I could just get on stage, talk, and shit will come out. It'll be good.
But do you not think that it is a good idea? Now, this is not me just spewing bullshit, but do you not think you've obviously got a local pub that you go to, or local bar, or whatever you call it? Do you not think it'll be a kif idea to just go there every Friday or whatever and just do 15 minutes for the sake of working out new material, and that'll push you to develop new material on a regular basis instead of using the same 45 minutes, an hour or whatever, because it'll give you a chance to work on new material and sort of cutting the fat from that and using it in your show when you've got big shows. And not charging those people. It's people in a pub that's sitting there and you go, listen, I'm just going to do 15 minutes quickly. You don't have to pay extra for us for this. It's just me working out stuff. Might work, it might not, whatever.
But I don't care about money and charging or anything like that. But the only problem is, even if he was to do that, you would have to promote it. Because it's no comedy store that is like a regular thing. If there was a comedy store that it was a regular thing and I just showed up on stage, people would expect it in Cyprus. And I'm like, hey guys, I'm here for 10, I'm going to just try some new material. Great. But because there isn't, I have to promote it as a show. And you can't promote a show just to do 10 minutes because people are going to, even if I don't charge, people want to come and see something like, they're not just going to show up for 10, 15 minutes. And then leave, because if I'm going to organize that and promote that, I still need to pay the rent for the place, which I don't mind. Even if I lose money just to try my material, I'm fine with that. But it's about the people will expect more. If there was a comedy store, I'll crack on. I'll go there every weekend. I'll just go up there and do 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour. I don't care. Just wrote, like you see, like Andrew Schultz and everything back in the day, just like roasting and just having fun with the audience. I'll do it. And
I'm gonna give you a bit of shit now. Don't you feel like it's a bit of a cop out going, no, but it isn't, that the opportunity's not there, so I'm not gonna do it? Why don't you just sort out the opportunity yourself.
I know.
Without making a big deal about it. Don't promote it. Don't fucking put anything out there. Just go, like I said, just go to your local pub and go, guys, I'm just going to talk shit for 5 minutes. If you laugh, you laugh. If you don't, you don't. Fucking whatever. It's free. Enjoy your beer while I tell jokes. And then you do 5 minutes. And if they laugh, then you go, Kef, that worked. And then you say, well,
I promise you, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that soon. I will talk to my local place that has the people. I promise you. And I'll do it. One of the busiest nights, and I'll just do it. I'll do 10, 15 minutes, and I'll fuck off.
Because if you start doing that on what's today? It's Friday. If you go tonight and you go and do it, and you go, okay, guys, I'll do this every second Friday.
I was gonna do it tonight, but I got invited to a podcast, didn't it?
Fucking that's my fault. Another cop up.
No, it's a good idea, but do you know what? If the bars are on it, because even if you're doing a show, you're not doing a show on a weekend. They won't allow you to do a show on the weekend. If they gave you because now people will be out in this bar, spending loads of money. So if they could give you the stage for 10 minutes within a Friday night or a Saturday night or a Sunday night, it would be amazing. So maybe that's something that they should do. Maybe that's something that they should look into. Maybe it would, because what you just said now is something that I've always said, that Cyprus is lacking, I believe, entertainment within the nightlife. You go to a bar, you're drinking, there might be a fire person, there might be some girls or guys dancing on a bar, and that's it. So a little stand up 10 minutes interval. I was going to call it intervention. Little interval is kind of cool. So I don't know who's going to accept it, because
you wouldn't have to promote something like that, because you're going to do it tonight, and then you go, in 2 weeks' time I'm going to be here again, or I might not, and then Oaks are going to come next week Friday or the week after that Friday, and then they're going to go, oh, where's that fucking Cypriot Smurf? And then
I like the idea. Let's talk to the bars. I like it. I love it. I wish there was if I could make a comedy store would be amazing. 50 people, even 100 people maximum. Little snack place, little drinks, open mic. Even because Cyprus is small, even if it wasn't just comedy store, it was like a live music thing where artists could get involved, singing, doing instruments or comedy, because we're small, to increase the variety, let's say. I would love to own or create something like that, because I feel like that's where everything's going. And like I said, there's the lack of entertainment now. There's DJs, there's singers, there's all this other stuff, but there isn't. Sometimes people just want to sit back and listen. If you told me now there was a soul singer or a jazz singer or something like that, I'll go right now just to sit and listen and enjoy, but everything is really, DJ this, singer that, so I think we need a bit more variety of things.
Oh, there we go. Fucking sort it out. Come on.
It still doesn't mean it's gonna. Oi, I don't like this whole drinking shit, because my eyes are slowly going Guinness, whoa.
Oh, what did you say? What are you drinking?
I'm drinking rum and coke. You've had 10 fucking liters of vodka and Red Bull, and you are buzzing because of the Red Bull, isn't it?
I only had 2 vodka Red Bulls. I'm on whiskey now.
I need to man up. Actually,
yeah,
I've had 2.5 pints of Gale. It's a beer. It's beer.
It's beer. It's fucking. You can drive.
That's puss. Malakas. But I like shit like this. I like meeting people like you, because I really I'm cool with people, and Like, you're making me drunk, bro. But
That's good.
it's nice to meet people and have a relationship with people. Like, I know you're married, you got a kid. I don't mean it like that. But
Hashtag no homo.
yeah. So it's like when you talk to someone and you're cool with someone that you're gonna meet someone in the future and just be cool. Like, that's how I feel. Like, sometimes I have that feeling with people. Sometimes it's a bit, a bit too much. But so far through my journey, people that I've met, people that I've spoken to, they've just all become friends, maybe that's why I don't, I don't know. Like, I just become friends with people. I
I do
like it.
feel like the comedy sector as a whole is very like-minded people centered around the fact of you're allowed to make fun of anything and everything. And this almost comes back to we quickly touched about you. I think you said that you don't get offended, and that's a very interesting thing nowadays, because I feel like fucking anyone gets or no, a lot of people get offended by a lot of stuff nowadays, which is utter fucking bullshit.
Totally agree.
and it takes away so much, where comedy is sort of the one sort of safe space in a way, but also safe space in a way that you're going to get fucking bombarded. But I this morning I watched the newest Kill Tony that came out on Monday, and there was a guy on stage whose wife OD'd on some other drug, and they made jokes about it. And I actually thought afterwards, like, if you show that to the fucking snowflakes of nowadays, they go, "Oh fuck, I'm offended," and then you go, "Yeah, but the guy that's fucking his wife died, he's making jokes about it. He is okay with it. You feeling offended on behalf of someone, that's bullshit. Sort your own shit out." And in the same fucking sense, you're allowed to be offended, but that's your fucking offense. Deal with it. It doesn't take away from it. I feel like we go, okay, I'm offended, you're not allowed to talk about it. Everyone's allowed to be offended, but that's your fucking problem. Go be offended over there in the corner. It's still funny.
Yeah. No, it is still funny. The one thing, the way I think is, like, this offense stuff is, like you said, I wouldn't get offended on behalf of someone. Some things can be in bad taste. Okay? I agree. But even though it's in bad taste, it can still be fucking funny. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm still gonna laugh. Like, and at the end of the day, things like bad things have happened in the world. And sometimes making a joke to make it seem a little bit better is good. Like, bad things have happened to many of us in the world. You know, everyone's lost someone that they loved. Everyone this, that, and the other. But it's part of life. I'm still laughing. You know, my dad was the one person that made me who I am today. We lost him, but we always say things and do things and think the way he would have thought and still laugh, you know, because, like, what I was going to say is, many people haven't been through shit, but yet they get offended. Like, my dad went through a lot of shit, and he was still the most humorous, loving person that never got offended to the last day. You know, a lot of people, like the 102-year-old that I met, obviously went through all these fucking wars, went through fucking recessions and starved and this and that and being a refugee and everything. But he's still at my show laughing and not getting offended. But you've been through nothing. You know, all right, people get offended because maybe it's not their problem. Maybe it's not their fault. It's because the time they've been brought up. It's not like you can't, like, at the same time I say this guy was 102 and went through all of that, but you've not been through any of that because they haven't really experienced that or even learned about that. We learned about all this shit in school. So maybe because we were learned all this stuff in school and we sort of like had people that were still alive during that generation, which makes us understand and makes us respect it. And the way we were raised, like me and you, I would say, you know, we used to be slapped. We got the little butso, we got hit, which personally, if I didn't have the biggest slap of my life from my uncle from when I was working, I might not have been the same person today. I needed that slap. I needed to be hit because I was a fucking little shit. And I would get hit again all the time just because of the way I've turned out now. Nowadays, people get hit and they'll be like, "Oh, I'll go social services and shit like that." No, I don't think. I think every kid needs a slap. I see kids nowadays and they're fucking shouting, they're moaning. I'm like, that kid just needs the biggest. Just give him one slap. Oh no, we don't slap our kids. Fucking slap him. He needs a slap. You know what I mean? That's why I'm single. I ain't got kids. I'll be locked up. But you know what I mean? Like just one. Let me give him one.
Listen, I've got a kid. And I can promise you, I walk around in fucking Asda going, I want to fucking kick, fuck, slap that kid. Just go fucking, you know, just like the pimp.
Kick, fuck, slap.
Just the pimp hand. Give him the pimp hand. It's just fucking step in line. But it's obviously, I say that trying to be funny. I'm not going to go do that. And that's exactly the line where you go, yeah, it's offensive. Of course it's fucking offensive. That's why it's funny. No, I don't go do that. I just go, I want to do that.
How old is your kid?
He's 3.
All right. When they get to an age that they understand that they're being a malaka and they know they're doing it on purpose, then you can slap. Yeah. If they're at an age that they don't understand, okay, you can do what you want to do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do believe people shouldn't get offended. But at the same time, some people are born in a different era and different time, and they really do not understand what older people and what people before them have been through, and they only think of their time and forward. And
I differ from you there.
No, but it's quite a lot of people. But there's still people in other countries that are still going through these problems and worse times. That's why I can never. Why am I ever going to get offended? Why am I ever going to get upset? Why am I never going to appreciate every single last thing that I've got when there's someone else somewhere not as lucky as I am today? So I will always show love and appreciation, even to every single person. I don't care.
I differ from you there in a small thing. You're allowed to be offended. That's fine. Because taking offense on something just means that you have to have a conversation about it. It doesn't mean that you have to go, fuck that guy, we need to cancel that. It just means, there's a touchy subject that we need to converse about. It does not mean that you cannot talk about it. Being offensive is not something that you go, ooh, no, it's taboo. It goes, maybe you need to just have a chat about it. Because it's not, I think we did say, I can't get offended. I do get offended, but I don't get emotional about it.
No, but it's not really offended. It's like what you've just done now. It's like, it's not, you can't get offended if it hasn't actually happened to you. But what you just done now was basically, you said something, but I think like this. It's not like you didn't get offended. We just had a conversation. So
yeah, it's just a discussion.
Yeah, you can't really get offended if it's not pointed at you. So really, all you can do is have a conversation, like you just said. So that I respect and I encourage and I like it because maybe I can hear something from someone else's side. But then I would maybe we would agree, maybe we'll disagree. But if we agree and disagree, I still love you. I still like you. You're still cool. You know, unless you're very, 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 very like wrong in the head and like the way you think is totally like left wing, let's say. I don't know why I say left wing. I think that's a football or a soccer reference. I just say it because I hear it in fucking movies. So I enjoy like when I say I don't get offended, I don't get offended. Say anything, it's cool. But still, what we're saying is, I might not agree with you, but I can have the conversation. And if I have the conversation, I will not then hate you. I can have the conversation as far as it goes, but the other person talking might not be able to take it as far.
Let's see, I think that's where I think offensive is too broad of a term, because as you said, it's not necessarily that you take offense. It's just you differ from what the other person is saying, and I feel like the world has lost the capability of compartmentalizing stuff, where we can't go, me and you, we're now big friends. I've decided we're friends.
We are.
But now we don't see eye to eye on smoking, for argument's sake.
Oh, was you only joking about the friends thing? I thought I was like, we're proper friends now, bro.
No, we are. We
okay.
I
thought you was using this just as a term. All right, cool. Because I thought I lost. Man thought I lost a friend, bro.
No, but just okay. We are friends. I love you. Cheers. Bye. Cool. But now I smoke. You don't smoke. So now we take very fucking aggressive. I'm gonna end this chat now. So you don't do that. We go, okay, let's talk about smoking. Why do I like smoking? Because of this and this and this and this. And you go, you don't like smoking because of this and this and this and this. We have a conversation about that. But that is not the alpha and omega of our friendship. It's a tiny part of it.
Let's do it. Why do you smoke? About it. Why do you smoke? Well, smoking cigarettes.
Yeah. What did you think? Fucking smoking meth.
Yeah, bro. No, smoking cigarettes. No, I don't care. Like, do you know what? I don't mind the little roll up now again. You're making me a bit jealous because I don't like cigarettes, but I don't mind a roll up. I could never smoke a cigarette in my life, but
the fuck is a roll up?
A roll up. Like that's a roll up, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's tobacco. It's just because I'm cheap and I'm not going to pay £20 for a pack of cigarettes. So
yeah, but you rolled that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I like. I like smoking them. I can't smoke cigarettes.
It's the same thing.
No, that's tobacco.
Okay, well, fuck you then. I'm offended now. Friendship over.
Done. Listen. Done. Offense. The one thing I believe in is, does it affect your life? If not, fuck it. Give a shit.
I'm going to Google offense now.
It's going to show you. It's going to show you what you can put around your farm.
Offense. Oh, well done. It's annoyance or resentment brought about by a perceived insult to or disregard for oneself. He made it clear he's taken offense.
Oneself.
Yeah.
So that's personal, right, bro? Listen. If you can't be offended, if it's about you, like you said, you can't be offended on someone else's behalf. Something can be in bad taste, something can not be funny, something can be this. But we live, like I think it was Ricky Gervais, we live, we die, there is no sequel. That is it. Give a shit. Give a shit. So in the world now, I will say this, I don't care, because I've had like 2 rum and cokes, a man's wavy. We live, like, literally, things won't matter one day. Just enjoy life. Just fucking laugh. Just have the one thing I'll say is, first, I want to say, birds are still chirping. Is it not night time there?
Not yet. No, I can still see light outside.
Jesus Christ.
It's still an hour away from sunset, though.
Jesus. All I will say is this. I'm not like conspiracy theorist and stuff, but governments are trying to divide and conquer. That's it.
Yeah.
We are all one people. We are all together. We are all just trying to live life, work hard, make money, love our families, create families, and that's it. Yeah? I'm not trying to create families at the moment because I keep buying the small condoms. But...
Or you're going to run into a family very quickly if you continue using the small condoms.
Let's hope so. But I will bring this up when it comes to race, color, gender, transgender, sexuality. Everyone, this is my personal opinion. I don't care. Everyone thinks that all of these topics that I've just said matter when they don't. We are all one. And I believe the people above are using us as fucking puppets, putting us against each other to do other shit that they want. When really, instead of trying to think of our differences, we should just think of our similarities, which is we just want to have a good life. And we all just want to love each other and have fun and be good people. That is it. Stop trying to show how different we are and start trying to remember how similar we are.
Yeah.
And that is it. And because like some things are getting out of control now, and people think like it's a good thing and people care about them when they don't. They just want to ride off of you, And I really believe that. I don't care saying that, because at the end of the day, people are people. I've never once treated anyone different. If anything, if I believe someone thinks that they're different, I show them more love, so they feel like they're not different. I don't know if that's bad or not.
No, it makes sense. I've been working on this sort of idea. I heard someone say a while ago on a podcast, they were talking about evolution, and I can't remember who it was. I think it was Brian Simpson. That brought up Brian Simpson, might not have been him. I'm not sure now, but anyway, brought up the fact that he thinks that autistic people on all spectrums are the next evolutionary step. It's like fucking losing our tails, moving on from monkeys to people, where being autistic is the next, I almost want to call it a superpower, or the next best thing, or the next fucker whatever. And because we are moving into a digital age in terms of, I mean, even this podcast, we're not sitting across from each other. We're talking over the internet. So I can't look you in the eye.
It's kind of mad, isn't it?
I can't, if I look at you, I'm not looking at the camera. If I look at the camera, I'm not looking at you. So we don't have eye contact. I've brought this up before on the podcast, but that's what fucking autistic people go, no, fucking, and they're good with cell phones, they're good with playing games, and they fucking can do very fucking mega calculated math in the head without a fucking calculator. And there's all this stuff that we see as not necessarily as a negative thing, but it's if you hear someone's autistic, you go, oh, that guy's fucked. But it's actually a fucking superpower. And it's interesting sort of seeing it from that point of reference. We go, that might be the next evolutionary step.
Have you ever watched that series Atypical?
No. Tell me about it.
No, it's about someone who's autistic. So there's obviously different spectrums, like you said. Like there is, and one of them I think is that it's about noise and like sound and everything like that. So I wouldn't think it's like a superpower, to be honest, because imagine like hearing everything and picking up everything. Well, now saying that like that, it sounds like a superpower.
That sounds like a superpower, exactly.
But at the same time, it's like it's also like, what would I say, a curse? Because imagine hearing, like, even now when you lifted up your lighter and you heard it ting ting ting, hearing everything. It's kind of I don't know how because conditions like this work, but it's weird how some people have something and some people don't. It's like, I'm not a scientist and stuff like that. That's what I'm gonna say. I ain't a scientist, but at the same time, that's what I mean. That's why we need to appreciate and love every single person, because some people are going through loads of shit. Like, a lot of people are just getting offended for bullshit when people are going have autism, and just normal thing like going outside, they can't stand it because of the noise and for this and for that and the other. Do you know what I mean? So we just need to, I feel like empathy, appreciation and love is a big thing, and respect and just understanding. You know, like, we didn't have that back in the day. Now we understand a lot of things and we see a lot of things, and we should have that. But then there's other people, I believe, that are just doing shit for clout and doing shit just because they want to do it, and doing shit because it's in trend. No, if someone's got a condition and an issue, like, and I'm going to say this as well, is like, some things have been, I would say, how would you say it? I keep forgetting my English. Like, they've been, like, I don't know, pushed down. There'll be another word for it.
Oppressed.
Let's say oppressed because of other things. When these are the things that should be having people's focuses and should be in, you know, in our minds and in our thoughts, and to have a think of, like, I was in Australia. We was eating, we was having a good time, and I could tell there was a guy that was autistic, and he was there, and he was very kind, he was very gentle, and he heard a noise and he just reacted because he got a bit shook, and he hit something and loads of stuff dropped. And the reaction of the staff, because they understood that he was autistic, was, don't worry, everything's okay. As long as you're okay, everything's okay, you know. And because they understood his condition, he calmed down, because no one was shouting, no one was this, no one was that. Everyone just you know, it was so, because they understood, like, but if a lot of people, you need to understand these conditions to sort of like respect one another. But when
if you make an issue out of it, it's going to become an issue.
Yeah. And sometimes people don't want it to become an issue. But what I'm saying is, like, there's other things that are going on in the world that could stop people understanding people that are actually going through these issues.
Yeah.
And stop people, you know, even caring, because some people might just have enough, like, oh, this, and this. Like, they are big deals, I believe. I don't know how we got into this subject, but alcohol, man.
People just need to suck it up, buttercup.
Love one another, respect one another. But I think maybe because I'm a comedian and I'm working with people, like, if I talk to someone, I understand, I can read their body language, I can understand them, and I know how to act with them. And I know how much to take, you know, because I speak to people that are autistic or have a disability and so on. And depending on that, I will give everyone my 100% attention. But sometimes I'll give them more attention because I understand these things. Do you know what I mean?
I really want to carry on, but I need to go run again quickly.
It's your turn, yeah?
That's my turn again.
Jeez.
So let's just take 2 minutes. This is I think the episode that I've done in 30. This will be episode number 30 that we've taken the most piss breaks. So let's go
top up and lick out.
There we go.
Lekker, bro. Are we still recording?
Yeah, my man. I'm always. I've got all of your piss farts on recording.
Your piss farts.
Yeah, I've cracked a massive fart now.
Can I just say, I just want to say, I have so many friends that have different opinions to me, different beliefs.
That's good. That's very good. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I want to say. Like, a lot of people getting offended and this, that, and the other. But me and my friends, we are tight as anything. And yet we just believe so many different things. Like, we couldn't be so far apart. Her name's Thelma. Like, that's the main one. Her name's Serkodisa. Shout out to Serkodisa.
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 That's fucking aggressive. Yeah.
Is Tseri. The village is called Tseri. Say Tseri. And Tseri. So we believe in totally different things and have difference of opinions. But when it comes to like humor and just being a person, we get on. So I think we are a good example of people that sometimes have different thoughts, but overall the same end goal, where it is, just wanna have a good life and, you know, be a good person and make sure people around, like, she's more, I would say, if there was which I really respect, if there was something she believes in, she'll fight for it and she'll push for it. And I do respect that in a lot of senses. And she's made me a better person. Xenon's made me a better person. Xenon's made me a better man when it comes to fucking just like being a man. I used to be a pussy. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm scared of the sea. I don't like rocks. And then like now rocks. I'm like, I'll fucking dive in there now, you know what I mean? So and like I know how to like make a fire and shit, you know, make a brew. So yeah, like I like to learn from other people. I like to like take things on and I don't just say, oh, this is the way I think, that's it. If I see something and I like to learn from other people's thoughts, feelings, and I learn from other people's mistakes. I don't make, if I see someone like, even on TV, do you know, like you ever watch movies and they're like, oh, this person on drugs and ruined his life. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do drugs. You know, that's the type of person I am. I would learn from other people's mistakes and I won't do things that they've done. That's it. That's just the way I am. Do you know what I mean?
See, you can't, the moment that you surround yourself with like-minded people in every sense of the word, then you've got nothing to talk about. Because if you surround yourself with people that think and act exactly the same way that you do, that is my hell. That is I'm so scared of that. Because what are you going to talk about?
What have you got to learn?
Exactly. You have to put yourself in a situation where you do not see something the same as someone else, because that's the only way you learn something. That's the only way you talk about something that you don't know anything about, and that's the way you build your own opinions about stuff. Staying in your own little fucking echo chamber of ideas where you just go, I think this is cool, and everyone around you just goes, yeah, no, I also think this is cool. Just makes fucking all of you think the same thing is cool, and then it's not cool, because it's what's that is it I think it's The Incredibles, where the villain in the story goes, no, he's going to make everyone special, because if everyone's special, then no one's special. And it's sort of the same thing, where if everyone thinks the same thing, then you've got fuck all to talk about, because I'm thinking the same thing that you're thinking. And we've gotten into this thing where if you think different than I think, then I get offended or you get offended, and then we're not allowed to talk about it. And it's utter fucking bullshit. And on the same note, that also takes comedy out of it. Because, I mean, when do you laugh the hardest is when you're not allowed to laugh, when something's not allowed to be funny. That is when something is the most fucking top level of funny. And that's why I feel like cancel culture in comedy is utter bullshit, because comedians are supposed to push the fucking line when it comes to being offensive, being funny, because that's where you find funny. That's where funny fucking thrives.
I personally feel like things are changing. I feel like there was a big cancel culture. I don't know if it's just me from what I'm seeing online, but I feel like there's like a revolution, and slowly this cancel culture is stopping. When it
People
comes
are
to
getting fed up,
people are getting fed up, and people are just like fucking saying whatever they want now. Like, it's over now. It's done. Like, you've had enough. You've cancelled enough people. You've cancelled enough movies. You cancelled enough things. Like, because I do believe like a lot of shit went on back in the day. Yeah, when it comes to creating movies or cartoons and all this shit. But back in the day was a different time than now. So when I say that, I mean, like, back in the day, a lot of bad shit happened, which was obviously bad shit. Yeah. But when I'm talking about this stuff that like you're really over like thinking now. But like times are different. Things that have happened. So like if you're gonna, you can't, like, I don't know, there's got to be like a 10-year rule or some shit. Do you know what I mean? Like people getting cancelled because of like things that they said like 10 years ago. No.
I heard the best explanation of this the other day, where they said, okay, there's a road between point A and point B. The legal driving limit, the speed limit, is 40 kilometers an hour. Now, 5 years later, they changed it to 30. So it's 10 kilometers an hour difference. You don't go back and charge all the oaks, fine all the oaks that were driving 40. You don't go and charge them, because the rules were different then. You can't do that. We're going back in, for argument's sake, comedy now, and let's just go. I mean, not racism, but because it's a bit of a dodgy line. But
Ricky Gervais said something years ago about a joke about gender. Years ago, and
that's a good line.
Now on the head now.
Yeah,
it's like, wow, what the fuck? I'm not going to say anything about it. That's all I'm going to say about the matter, because I'll say something and then that's finished as well. But
no, but let's take any joke about slavery. Okay, we don't touch it now. 40 years, 50 years ago,
actually,
100 years ago, we all had slaves. I say we as if I own someone, but no, I didn't. I don't fucking have enough money to fucking buy coke. Never mind a slave. But when everyone had slaves, it was a kiff idea to own a slave, because that was the rule of the day. Now we know it's not a kiff idea to fucking own people. So now we know it's not kiff. But you can't fucking go back and say those people were fucked up, because that was the rule of the day. We now know it's fucked up, but it's
the best joke I've heard recently was an African American. He said that my grandparents, I think it was my grandparents, were slaves. Yeah. He was such a good slave. He bought himself out of slavery. Yeah. Then he sold himself back to slavery for a profit. I was like, wow. That was so fucking smart. Like, for me as a comedian, like, only obviously an African American or an African or a Jamaican or whatever, anyone that went through slavery could have done that. But it was smart that he even done that he even thought of that. That was amazing.
Like a profit margin worked in there.
Yeah, wow. Like, I don't know. Like, I think everyone enjoyed that joke. I think everyone loved that joke. Obviously, I think it was brilliant. It was fucking brilliant. I was like, that was like so smart. And like, when it comes to a joke, like, I don't even think of, I don't think of like what he was actually talking about, but I'm like, that was well crafted. And I would have loved to be that person that said it, even though I couldn't be that person that said it, to get them laughs. Do you know what I mean? Like, wow. That was when I would love to have been a fly on the wall when he thought of that and how he thought of that. Like, even if he spoke, I want to know how he got it. Like, if he spoke to his grandparents and, you know, like, it just came out in conversation like I speak with the old Greek boys in the village. Do you know what I mean? Like, how did that, is that like maybe a joke amongst them or something like that? So it's really smart. Like, you don't know where that joke come from. I don't think he would just sat there and wrote it. I think he was around a table with friends and stuff, and it just came out, and now that's his joke. So I think it's brilliant. But then people get offended.
If you break it down, the joke is not necessarily about slavery. The joke is in essence about a fucking profit margin.
A profit margin, yeah.
And
it's about business.
You can quite easily make the joke about a lot of other fucking things. Fucking yeah, it's. I think and that is the where the crux comes in is. You can get offended about it. Fuck it, whatever. Okay, go for it. But it's funny because it's not funny. And that makes it funny. It's comedy is very...
That was actually funny because it wasn't... There's not one swear word. There's not one lie.
There's not vulgar.
One... It's not, it's like...
It's intelligent.
He's intelligent. He's very intelligent. That's where like I like Jimmy Carr, because like Jimmy Carr is very. I'm not a fan of stupid, silly humor, silly jokes.
Yeah. Hacky stuff, cheap stuff.
I'm a fan of smart, intellectual jokes. Like, I didn't expect that. I was just watching that video, and when he switched it. And then he's holding back for a profit. I was like, oh my God. That's so
you don't expect
funny. No way, but it was fucking hilarious. It was so smart. It was so funny. But yeah, these are bad things that's happened in the past. And...
But on that note, do you not think, because I feel like, as I said earlier, I listen to 99% of the podcasts that I listen to is stand-up, American stand-up comics. And I feel like a red line running through all of their material is coming from a fucked up childhood or sort of bad situations growing up and blah, blah, blah. You going through, and I want to bring this back to your comedy, you going through fucking being of mixed fucking backgrounds, growing up in the UK, getting kidnapped on a holiday to Cyprus, and then all of a sudden realizing that you live in Cyprus now. Do you not think that sort of, all of that, call it brokenness or whatever you want to fucking, do you not think that molded you into something that is funny now? Where if you just grew up in a fucking house somewhere and you went to school and everything was kiff, that you would just be a fucking website developer now?
To be honest, like at the end of the day, if I didn't move to Cyprus, you can never know. Maybe if I stayed in England,
that's what makes it awesome.
Yeah,
you never
maybe
know, it's
if
open-ended.
maybe if I stayed in England, I would be doing open mics every weekend and be a better comedian than I am. But at the same time, coming to Cyprus, maybe at the end of the day, the way I've become a comedian now is through my character and Cypriot and Greek stereotypes, you know. So at the end of the day, it's obvious at the moment my career has got to me where I am through being in Cyprus, through the things I've seen, things that I've gone through. So staying in England, maybe I don't think I would have been a comedian. I would have just been doing a daily job. So being kidnapped and brought to Cyprus, I think actually made me who I am, to be honest.
How many people come to you and say that Souvlakis is offensive?
No one. They love Souvlakis. Do you
Because,
know what?
because
You know,
it's centered in, Souvlakis is centered in the stereotypical fucking Greek guy.
At the end of the day, I am Souvlakis. He is me. And he is what I have seen. And he is what I would be if I was actually born here original.
Yeah.
And the only people that I've actually seen get angry and annoyed are people that maybe live abroad and think
that take
that
offense on
think I am just an English person making fun of their culture when really I am Cypriot and born here, and I am more Cypriot than they could even imagine. You know, like people that live in Cyprus know that I've been here since 10 years old and gone through everything and done national service. And I think people that live in Cyprus respect me more because I show respect to them as well and respect to my country, and maybe watch my stories and see that all I do is promote my country and how much I love it. And oh yeah,
Cyprus.
got the Cyprus.
Okay, so for people that are just listening, he's got a tattoo on his calf of Cyprus.
That was from Thelma. She's like a tattoo artist now.
No, but where's your newest one? Because I saw some in your stories or something that you.
This was scary. This is Poseidon.
Is that the newest one?
This is the newest one, yeah.
What? But you shared something today, I think, of Cypriot Smurf. I thought it was tattooed on you.
No, some guy. This guy.
Did a random guy get Cypriot Smurf tattooed on him?
Yeah, I gave him an autograph, and Leah.
How fucking awesome is that, though?
No, it's very good. Like, he asked me, I said, "Hey, if you really want to do it, if your family's cool with that, then you do that. But it's on you." You know what I mean? Like, it's literally on you.
I thought it was on you.
Nah, I'm not gonna get my own autograph on me. That's a bit vain, fam. No, but it's nice. Do you know what? Sometimes, a lot of the time, do you know, like, how can I explain this? I make videos, I do stories, I post on Instagram. Years ago, if I didn't post for 2 days, I would be like, "Oh my God, I haven't posted for 2 days. People are going to forget me. I'm not online. I'm really shit, blah, blah, blah." And it would give me ajos. Like, ajos is stress and nerves and this type of thing. And my brother is now a personal trainer, and like he's all into like meditation and just the way of thinking and everything like that. And he really calmed me down. Like now, like I do care. It is a business. I've got a full-time job, but this is a full-time job as well. But now, like social media doesn't own me, let's say.
That's good.
Because I used to think if I don't post, people are going to forget me. People won't forget me. And I'll make sure they won't forget me, because when I do post, I'll make sure it hits and I'll make sure they remember me. And I'll make sure I post things that I want to post, and I want to live the moment as well. That's why I really want to push live comedy shows and stand up, because back in the day, people only ever done live shows and live stand up. I know like there's Netflix specials and stuff like that now, which hopefully one day I have one. But I want to be that person where people have seen live before, and then when he comes back to their country, they're like, "Oh, he was really good last time. I want to go see him." Like, because tomorrow, if Instagram, Facebook, and everything goes down, but yet you see in a newspaper that Cypriot Smurf is coming to town, you're still going to book tickets. I don't want social media to own me. So I think that's like another lesson for people as well. Like, they're posting everything about their lives. As much as I post so much, I don't post my like too much personal stuff. Do you know what I mean? There is a limit.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people post like when they go to like a funeral, they post gravestones. I had a joke as well. Like, how are the dead meant to rest in peace if they keep getting Facebook notifications? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like, it's a bit deep. So sometimes keep things personal. Learn that to keep your own shit to yourself sometimes. And sometimes some things should be yours and personal to you. And live in the moment and look after yourself. And sometimes, posting on Instagram isn't the answer. Sometimes just putting your phone down and just living in the moment is the answer. That's where I get all my ideas, Sometimes, like, if I'm looking at my phone all the time, it's dangerous. It is very dangerous. Like when I went to Australia, you're not allowed to be on your phone when you're driving. So a lot of the time, my phone was down. I was concentrating on driving. And I had the
I don't
best time.
think anywhere in the world you're allowed to be on your phone while you're driving. I think that's an international rule.
Cyprus is not international, my friend. You know what I mean?
Come on, be a Greek.
Be a Greek. So,
I must say I think those are from all of your videos and stuff, your parodies and everything that you put online. Those are the ones that I enjoy the most.
I am honest and about everything. Number one, the beer Greeks were inspired by the Boston Beer Man.
No, Beer Man, yeah.
Beer Man. I fucking loved it. I even sent him a message saying that I love these so much. I love the concept. I want to do them Beer Greek. If he answered or not, I don't give a shit. I fucking done it. All right. He was never going to say, put the muddy in your car, Beer Greek. All right. Yeah. So I messaged him and I loved it. And I started doing it. And I got a lot of shit because of like the whole Cypriots are Greek thing. A lot of people that are like patriotic, like full Cypriot, someone just started messaging me, cussing me down. You're calling us Greek, we're Cypriot, and made a Facebook page about me and started posting about me, and people were cussing me down and like basically saying he's not Cypriot, he's the. But these people live abroad. These are the people that like tried to get away with doing national service or didn't do national service at all. When I'm the one that done national service, I'm the one that's lived here from the age of 10 and like shown so much love to the country. These are the people that live abroad and just cuss down Cyprus every time, like moment they get. And the only reason, like, I'm not saying that we're Greek or we're not Greek. You don't need to know my beliefs, but the only reason I've done it is because Greeks and Cypriots have the same thought, same mentality, same things that we do. So by saying be a Greek, my videos reach a broader audience. Do you know what I mean?
Funny.
Yeah. And if I was to say be a Cypriot, some guy's gonna end up going be a Greek, and I'm like, Malaga, I should have fucking done that. Do you know what I mean?
That's something that you say a lot. Malaka. What does that mean? Fuck it.
No, Malaga is like it's like you. You are Malakas. Yeah. Malaga.
Malaga.
Malaga is not a swear word. It depends on the context. It depends on the tone. It depends on who you're saying it to. So if you say like Adere Malaga, you're like, come on, man. Do you know what I mean? But if you say like Ise Malagas, it's like you're a wanker.
Okay.
Yeah. But like Ise Malagas, like it's like you're a Malaga. Right? Like I can't even. It depends on.
That's everything. One of those words.
Yeah, I thought it was puss, but puss is really bad. Like because I'm like because I don't understand because if like people go, it's puss hot, you know, you're not cussing anyone down. You're saying it's fucking hot. But if you go, you're a puss.
In 30 episodes, you are the first person that I've allowed to say that word on the podcast.
Because I don't understand why it's swear word. Because it depends. I feel like puss is. It depends on the context, as well. People say it's like the CUNT word, but I don't know why. I said puss. I said Malaga, but I can't say that one. But basically, I think let's make puss great again.
See, it's an interesting thing. I feel like okay. Let me put this in context. My parents will most likely not listen to this, so I don't really care. But they're very conservative
and very not supportive.
For me to call this podcast the Kakpraat Chronicles, because kak is, and it's basically, kak is a word like, I feel shit. Like Malaka is to you. It's kak is shit, but it's like banter. It depends on how you say it. So the Kakpraat Chronicles is the banter. It's just talking shit chronicles, whatever. And my parents are very conservative, so they never call it. If we talk about the podcast, they don't say the Kakpraat Chronicles. They always go that chronicle thing or whatever.
Tell them to say the Puskak Chronicles.
And it's. I always feel like I've always been marked within my family context as like the black sheep. I'm the one that drinks. I'm the one that smokes. I'm the cuck. And I've always thought like, but it's just noise. It's just a noise that you make with your face. It's just a word. It's got no meaning if you don't give it meaning. It's nothing. It's just, I could just as well say, and that's exactly the same. And I could never, from a young age, I could never understand the fascination that we have with swear words. Now I've got a kid. I can understand that I can't send my kid to nursery as a 3-year-old and him going, "Fuck you guys."
No, but I can
understand that.
He can say puss because they won't understand it in England.
He won't understand it, but it sort of scratches in my insides. I think
that's why I haven't got a kid.
It is. I think it is. I think it all boils down to respect in some sense, but
if anything, it's a lesson. If anything, like you just hit the nail on the head. It's respect. It's like we know these words are just words that we say with our mouths, but because us as
it's intent.
Because us as a people have now classed these words as swear words. Now teaching your child not to say them is respect, is sort of a discipline to understand and to learn that there are bad words and things that you can't say, and to have respect while talking. So if anything, it's just the words mean shit. the lesson behind them is the key.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sort of knowing when to use them. But I feel like I always had this idea of where
I can just imagine your kid now, like learning when to use them. The teacher's a puss. Well done.
No, but it's. I always put it in terms of if I have to filter myself in all of my conversations, then I'm not going to say much, because then I'm always going to go. Because I feel like swear words are coloring outside of the lines, and I like fucking coloring outside of the lines, and that's what swear words are. And I almost don't want to say the word swear word, because it puts a negative thing to it. Where it's if I'm having a drink, there was between 2014, 2015, 2015, I went through a stage in my life. I got my Afrikaans and English mixed up now. Between 2015. Between 2014 and 2015, I went through a stage in my life where I thought, if you go to a braai, if you have drinks with friends, you need to see the sun come up somewhere.
Okay.
And I had this fucking thing inside of me where the night was not finished if I did not see the sun come up. And if I saw that sunrise, I would go, cheers. I'd say cheers with whoever's sitting beside me, and I would go, this is fucking nice. You cannot fucking explain how nice this is. Because the only way that I can explain it is to say fuck in front of that word. Because it's got that power. It's got that hit in it. Saying that sunrise is very nice does not put that into the exact word. And if you say it's a swear word, if you say it's fucking nice and it's a swear word, then it takes away from the magnificence of that sunrise. I can use 75 other words to describe a sunrise, but to say it's fucking nice just hits, and everyone knows exactly how fucking exciting that sunrise is. Taking that away from me, and not just me, anyone, puts me in a small little box. And I don't like that. And if you take offense, that's fine. It's your fucking problem. But we give offense to stuff, and it's like coming back to fucking offensiveness, and I don't want to talk about it again, but it's just, we've got the power to either make something kiff or make something not kiff. And let's just make something kiff. I understand that I can't send my kid to fucking class. At
the end of the day,
my kid was a bit younger, about 8 months ago. My kid was still on nappies, and he made a poop in a nappy, and he came to me and he said, I made a poop. So I was now supposed to change his nappy, and when I opened that nappy, my man,
does this say go wipe your ass, bro?
It was terrible. And I said, as soon as I opened the nappy, I said, oh my fuck. And immediately my kid went, oh my fuck. So now I go, fuck, I can't. What do you do now?
Did you not laugh? Did you not laugh first?
I did laugh. Of course I laughed. It's funny as fuck. My kid said, oh my fuck. Of course it's funny. But now you have to go.
Could you imagine if you went, that's so fucking funny, and he went, that's so fucking funny.
But see, that's a problem. Is you can't laugh, but you can't react, because then he's going to think it's funny, and then he's going to continue doing it. So you have to go, ha, 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 ha. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, my wife is standing a meter behind me, losing her shit. It's so funny. And then for the next half an hour, my kid just walked around. He can only, at that stage, he could only say fucking 3 words, but he went, oh my fuck, oh my fuck, oh my fuck. And I thought, I am already an immigrant in this country. My son is the only call it European in his nursery. Now he's going to go to the nursery going, oh my fuck. So then I'm going to be that parent. I don't want to be that guy. Also, I don't really care. I pay my fucking fees. They take my money. But, and it's just that thing of respect, I guess. I don't know. I just feel like we should not be such fucking pussies when it comes to words. It's just words. When did we lose the thing of sticks and stones may break my bones?
Do you know when you
whatever?
No, it sticks. That's right. But even when you say these words, you don't intentionally say them.
Yeah, it's intent.
No, you don't intentionally say them. They come out. It's like it's a feeling, like you said. It's like if I ever swear, I don't intentionally say that swear word, like because I could say so many other words. But if I was like, "Oh fucking hell, it's mad," it's because it just comes out. It just flows.
Fucking hell, it's mad, isn't it?
It's mad. You know what I mean? This podcast is mad. I'm bloody pissed. Malaga.
Yeah. That's why we call it the Kakpraat Chronicles. Listen, on that note,
Chronicles.
Oh, that's fucking aggressive. Listen, on that note, promote what you want to promote. Where can people find you on the interwebs? What?
Find me on the website. Right, I'll do it. I'm gonna try and do it. You've made me like I was like, I'm gonna try and play this guy and just have Coke Zero. But no. I started putting the rum and Coke, and now I'm on my third rum and Coke. I had some beers before, and I'm feeling kind of merry. But
that's good.
Yeah, I got to wake up early tomorrow, man.
Where can people find you? What's your Instagram handle, YouTube, whatnot?
All right, so you can find me at Cypriot Smurf on every social network. I got the username for all of them because no fucker wanted to get the same username. Smurf. Yeah. I'll be in SA, Johannesburg, September the 28th at the Germiston Hall. Get your tickets online in my Instagram bio, on Facebook and stuff like that. I want to say, and that's it really. I want to say a big thanks and shout out to the Kakpraat podcast. I try to say it with my best SA accent ever. And big up man like you, yeah. And that's it. My eyes are closing. I'm like falling asleep. I watched Xenon's podcast. I was like, yeah, I ain't gonna be like that. And now I'm like that. Do you know what I mean? Can I just say, like, Xenon's job is crazy. And I remember when he was he told me the story about being in where was he? Angola.
Offshore Angola.
And feeling like he wasn't alone. He told me that story, and I was like, when he was telling me that story, I felt like I was in that story. And just knowing Zenon and understanding Zenon and understanding what he does, a lot of people don't understand and appreciate what other people do for a living and to provide for other people. Like, so that people like Zenon and being and all the commercial divers in the world, what they do and what they go through, so we can have like electricity, gas, oil, and stuff like this. Like, people don't understand. Like, even me, I wouldn't have understood if I wasn't a friend of Zinon's. But now I understand. And like, whenever someone says to me, "This is what I do," I sort of understand it now, and I appreciate it even more. And I appreciate every time I pump or every time I have electric, and that there's someone on the fucking seabed, like grafting or under there for months at a time, making sure I have what I need to live or even have this podcast. So yeah, big shout out to all the commercial divers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a fucking crazy ass job because you don't think about it. I think everyone knows someone that does fucking offshore work somewhere, and you think, this fucking guy's a scuba diver. But
Yeah,
meanwhile, back at the ranch, this guy's working 30 meters under the water and fucking flushing currents, going back and forth, having to weld a little line while you're tethered to something, going fucking back and forth. And you've got sharks and most likely aliens swimming around and stuff trying to eat you. And also, you have to breathe through a fucking stroikie, and it's fucking difficult. And if you lose a tool, it's fucking gone. It's not like you can go fetch it under the car. It's 75 million miles under where the fucking Titanic is. It's a fuck up.
I'll get scared in a fucking bath, and these guys are going fucking 100 meters down. No, man.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Thank you, Zinon, for the lights.
Cheers, Zibab.
Ella, you, cheers. Cheers, Ella.
Ella, you magrikas.
I need to do fast before it goes on my new MacBook.
Listen, it's been a fucking pleasure having you on. I've had so much fun, and we definitely have to do this again when you come back from South Africa. I want to hear all the stories.
100%. Maybe we do one when I'm at the Orange Elephant.
We can sort something out.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
All right. Lekker brew. Enjoy it. And Oak and Joy and Joel and Oak.
Braai.
Right.
Cheers, my man.
Lekker.